Everyone, and welcome to the home of the Knights here at Lone Peak High School in Highland, Utah, for one of the best matchups we've had this year between the number 9 team in the land, the Lehi Pioneers, and the 6th-ranked Lone Peak Knights here on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. I'm Nate Thatcher alongside my broadcast partner, Dave Harrison. And Dave, this game has massive RPI implications with both teams at 5-3 on the year and with Lone Peak trying to avoid last place in this highly contested Region 3.
Yeah, they're looking for a bounce-back game after losing at Sky Ridge last week. And it's a gauntlet, Region 3 play. We know, we've talked about it all year. Great teams at every turn. So Lehi, they're 5-3. They could be 8-0. They've lost 3 really close games. They've won every game they've won by double digits. So, I think this is really a matchup of 2 teams with really great D1 players. We'll see which one of those 2 teams kind of steps up and uses their guys the best tonight.
For Lehi, the Pioneers are coming off of their 3rd of 5 straight top 10 matchups where they got a big win against then number 3 American Fork. Devon Eka, that's going to be a name we're calling a lot tonight. The recent BYU commit put up some big numbers with 15 carries for 143 yards and 2 touchdowns. You have to think that Lehi's path to the top of the region and potentially to a state championship literally runs through number 24.
I completely agree with that. You have to be able to establish a run game to win in the playoffs and control, win games at the end. So, they haven't won any close games, and you hope that they can establish their run game. He's probably top 1 or 2 running backs in the state. If they can do that, then they've got a chance to win a close game tonight, because I think that Lone Peak offensively, they're really tough to slow down.
Yeah, for Lone Peak, after their dominant performance over Corner Canyon put them firmly in the driver's seat for every future endeavor, they've now dropped back-to-back heartbreakers against American Fork on a last-second field goal and Sky Ridge in double overtime last week. But both of those games came with some rough first halves, if you will, that forced them to kind of claw their way back in their fourth quarters in both of those contests. You have to think that they need to set the tone here tonight at home on senior night if they want to come out with a win.
Yeah, important to start well offensively, establish a rhythm, get the Pula brothers the ball, find a way to get them involved in the game, and then it's important for Lone Peak to win the battle up front. They've got to have time to throw the ball. Cruz Christensen still playing for Keppa, who's still out, but should be back next week. He's got to have a little time. He didn't have very much time when we saw him play against American Fork. And American Fork dropped the guys back and really kind of took away that deep game that Lone Peak likes. So I'm interested to see, as a coach, obviously, what the offensive and defensive coordinators' battles are going to be and how they start the game versus how they end the game.
Yeah, we mentioned and we talked about Devon Eck in pregame, but I mean, the Pula twins are pretty impressive, especially Jaron, who's the team leader in reception yards. 10 touchdowns on the year. I mean, Lone Peak is very impressive, and you mentioned Cruz Christensen, who's been able to fill in at that quarterback slot. And even though they've lost the last 2 weeks, his stats are still impressive. 14 touchdowns, only 4 picks.
Yeah, he takes care of the ball. He gets the ball to the right guys. It's important for him to get going early tonight, I think. I think they've got to be able to establish some movement on the outside with whether it's short pass game, intermediate pass game. I don't know that Lehi is going to let anything over the top. You'll probably see a lot of cover 3 and cover 4 defensively. So, yeah, if you can take away their best guy, which is typically what you'll see out of a good defensive coordinator, then it's a battle of the next guy in line, and let's see if you can run the ball or somebody else can step up in the pass game. So
this has been our pregame coverage tonight on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. As we remind you, our game is brought to you by Kessler Allaire. For a range of reasons, call Kessler Allaire Insurance Services, as well as a couple other sponsors. National Auto Plaza, where you can find the best deals on the best cars, trucks, and SUVs with their legendary $3,500 rebate. PKJ Design Group, landscape architects and planners, quality, innovative, and environmental design. Reef Capital, expect the best. And Johnston Law, it starts up front with a winning team. Johnston Law has been helping businesses succeed at every stage for over 15 years. Call or text today at 801-980-5300 and mention Lone Peak Wins.
You just mentioned Reef Capital Partners. They They own Black Desert Resort as well as Marcella Club up in Heber. And I had a chance to fly on their plane down and play Black Desert today, and I can tell you that's a first-class operation, as good as I've seen anywhere in the country. And so shout out to Jared Lucero and Reef Capital Partners and Tanner Sanson for finding me a seat on the plane.
And, you know, before we even start this game, we've already got a winner up here in the booth if you got to play Black Desert Golf Course today. I mean, one of the, if not the most pristine golf course here in the state of Utah.
Yeah, they didn't let us take the carts out onto the course. We could take it on the cart path. We had our caddies. But that place is in great shape. The greens are running fast. And it's grown up. I was there last spring, and now that I'm back this fall, the resort's all in place, the food, the restaurant, the accommodations, swimming. I mean, it is unbelievable.
Well, we should be in for a good one here tonight. It's not golf, although we got Tony Finau in the house here tonight. It's Lehi and Lone Peak here in a great Region 3 matchup. It's Lone Peak senior night, as we did mention in the pregame. And in last week's game, Dave, we talked about it up at Farmington. Senior night brings a lot of emotions as well. And what are those emotions like? You've played it as a coach. You've seen it for many years. What do you have to do? Do you have to control the players in a way, or do you kind of let them play their same game? Or
I think that you have to channel that energy. You have to do things that are downhill, go hard. Let's take advantage of that energy, because they don't really understand it's the last time their senior game. As a coach, you see it every year. I saw it 17 years in a row, and I would tell the kids, look, man, this is big time. You're going to remember this the rest of your life. And so I'm sure that Lone Peak's pretty amped up. They want to come out and they want to start fast. And I think that you want to channel that energy, because it's a positive thing.
So Lehi has just entered the field, and here come the Knights of Lone Peak in their all-black uniforms, trying to come back after dropping back-to-back games here in Region 3 and 6A.
American Fork had a nice game plan against Lone Peak. We saw them run the ball successfully. They took a few 10, 15-yard plays on the outside to the receivers, but really they kept it between the tackles, did a good job controlling the clock, and I really think that's the formula for Lehi tonight. If they can run the football, get ahead, kind of put the pressure on Lone Peak, I think it's a good start for Lehi. So we'll see. I'm excited. This is going to be a really good football game. Yeah,
another top 10 matchup, as it always is here in this region. Both of these schools are playing 4 or 5 straight top 10 matchups. It could be a daunting schedule at times. I mean, you look at leagues higher than high school football. You're playing that type of skill week in, week out. It can wear you down.
Yeah, these schools, the fortunate thing is they're deep, and they've got kids that can come in. You get one kid that goes down. And really, at this point of the season, yes, you want to win. That's huge. But almost as important is let's get healthy. Let's make sure that everybody's ready to go for the playoffs, because, let's be honest, with the RPI, the region title doesn't really matter as much. So that's not that's how they're going to call the game, but in the back of your head, you're thinking, man, we got to get everybody ready for game one.
It'll be Lehi getting the football first, and it'll be Cash Hollingshead and his team coming out here. Cash has had a great season as well. 54% completion rate, over 1,000 yards passing. He's got a great touchdown interception ratio, 15-1. I mean, so he rarely turns the ball over. And you have to think that their running game really allows them to set up passing opportunities, especially through Eka.
Yeah, you've got Legend Glasser on the outside. He's fantastic. Take the easy throws. A 54% completion rate is, we watched Messenger last week, 78%. So he can do better at some of these throws and get the ball to the guy. Feed your studs, we used to say, and that's what he's got to do. Maybe at a little higher clip than 54%, but he does take care of the ball, and that always gives you a chance to win.
So here we go, ready for kickoff here on this Thursday night. It's kind of weird not having it on a Friday, but
yeah,
we'll take it. I'm not complaining if football's coming a little bit early.
Yeah, I'm actually excited to go watch Mountain Ridge Bingham tomorrow night. Mountain Ridge has really stepped it up. There's some contenders in Region 2. mean, I know Region 3 is kind of the big guys, but I think that door's open this year for another region to take a title.
Ball is out and back through the end zone, so Lehigh will start at their own 20-yard line, 1st and 10. We mentioned it in the pregame. It's going to have to run through. Devon Eka averages about 108 rush yards per game, 17 touchdowns on the air. For sure a top 10 running back in this day. I mean, you could even put him top 5.
Well, yeah, having seen a lot of them, the numbers may not say he's the top 2 or 3 guy in the state, but he really is. Like to see him come out early. Pretty stock defense. Looks like standard 6-4-2.
And it'll be Wyatt Bingham in at quarterback. Senior transfer, 1st and 10. Looking to go deep. He's got Glasgow out there. It's caught. And out of bounds already in Knights territory on the first play of the game.
I have to believe Cole Cooper, the OC at Lehigh, knew that was going to be back shoulder throw. And he told him, look, just put it up. Legend, run him off, come back for the ball. Really good start. That's a tough throw dead into the wind.
So first play gets them into Knights territory at the 47-yard line. And as we mentioned before the play started, it's Wyatt Bingham in at quarterback. 6 games played, but not a lot of reps.
He was hurt early. I think he was the starter, came over from Mountain Ridge.
Yep. So early motion now by Eck out into the slot on the left side. Bingham looking to pass, it's empty. And he's going to not go anywhere. Oh, somehow slips out. Ball comes out for a moment, but he's going to trip up. That's going to count as a sack for the Knights.
Little mesh concept there where they run 2 shallow drags and a dig route behind it to the middle of the field. And Lone Peak sat in zone defense, so there was really nowhere to go with the ball. Pretty good job defensively up front for Lone Peak to get pressure there.
Tony Grimmer, the linebacker, got there. He's top 5 in the state in total tackles. So you have to think he's going to be a key player here tonight on the defensive side for Lone Peak. Sets up a 2nd and long. Eka up the middle. He's got some nice blocks, and he's got an edge out to the right side. Makes it out to the 40 and out of bounds near 1st down yardage. And I mean, with just one play, a great running back, they make up all that yardage and more.
Man, it's nice to have a 2nd and 20 play that works. That was a fantastic job. There, Lone Peak had 2 guys directly over the top, safety and a corner on Glasgow, and so just automatically you've got a numbers advantage to this side. A good job up front for Lehigh. Glasgow bounced it.
Reminder, our clock is unofficial here on the Rewind Sports Network. We'll try and keep it as close as possible. 1st and 10 now. Motion by Wren, right to left. Now it's going to set up a screenplay that way. Cameron goes. Got some nice blocks out near the 30 and gets 1st down yardage out near the 27-yard line. So the Knights can't really stop Lehigh right now as they're moving the ball in every fashion.
That looked fantastic. I love when your outside guys make blocks because typically, in a cover 2 zone defense like that where they're sitting back, you've got a nice cushion there. And if your guys are aggressive with their blocks, you can pick up nice yardage.
So 1st and 10 now, ball at the 27-yard line. Bingham in shotgun. Looking for another pass play. He's got a shallow route to Eka, doesn't take it. Now he's going to roll out to the right. Still looking. He'll just take it himself.
Oh.
And he'll be tackled behind the line of scrimmage, forced out of bounds. So a loss of yards here on the first play.
As well as number 25, Kingston Shortshine.
I think if he would have got hit out of bounds like that on the other sideline, he might have got a flag.
1 yard loss on the play. 2nd down and 11.
So that loses 1. 2nd and 11 now coming up. And this offensive line has already shown they're pretty dominant in all facets. And although obviously you didn't get a throw out, he had lots of time.
Yeah, he's got to have time to get the ball out. But, it's a pass defense. They're trying to stop that. So not big holes.
Here's Eka trying to go somewhere, but he can't. He is stopped.
Boy, if Bingham keeps that, I don't know that that's a true RPO or if that's just an outside zone left. But if he keeps the ball, there's nobody on the outside. He's probably in the end zone. So 3rd and long, we'll see if they look to go over the top to Glasgow again, maybe on a back shoulder, if they look to try and find something in the middle, or probably not in field goal range at this point with the wind.
So here we go, 3rd and 14. 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Bingham Looking to pass. He's pressured, trying to escape the pocket. He can't, and he's just going to throw it away. That'll set up a 4th down. So a nice stop by Lone Peak once Lehi entered red zone territory.
Yeah, they just sat back in their zone defense, and Lehi wasn't able to take advantage of that. Bingham got a little bit quick to pull the ball down. I think if he sets just a little bit longer, it gives his guy time to open up on that out route. But again, throwing into the wind, man, that's a tough ask. So they're going to have to try to go up over the top, maybe get a pass interference.
Pioneers in no-man territory. So we hit the under 10. Here's Bingham looking to pass. He's got to get 14 here. Here's a shallow route. Lattimore's got it, but he might be out just a little bit close. He doesn't have it. He was a yard short.
I thought he saw the marker right there. Fantastic play. Glasgow gets his eyes back towards the ball. Makes a great block, and he just stepped out a little early. So big stop there for Lone Peak.
And that's exactly what the Knights needed here at the beginning of this first quarter. We mentioned it pre-game. They've been having some rough goes the last 2 contests when they've been losing. They haven't had strong first halves. And that 4th down stop right there has to get the juices and momentum going.
Well, and I know that they had some long down situations, but you really like to see Eka getting the ball. I mean, he gets the ball in 2nd and 20 and picks up 20 yards. Let those big hogs eat up front.
So
I think we'll see a little more run game from Lehi coming back out.
Christensen and company start at their own 19-yard line. It's going to be a handoff. Pula's got it off the left side. He'll get it out to maybe the 22 or 23-yard line for a gain of 3.
I like it. Get him the ball. Find any way to get him the ball. You know, he's your best guy, and if you can get a block or 2 out there, pretty good job defensively to string that out by Lehi. But I like the idea. Get your guys the ball, however you got to do it.
Sets up a 2nd and 7, ball on their own 22-yard line. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left stacked. Christensen looking to pass. He's going to go out in the flat to his running back. Some nice moves made by Sean Tahi. Gets close to the 31-yard line. He'll set up a 3rd and short.
Again, putting the ball outside to your guys. A good job blocking on the outside. I know just picked up 3. A good job by the Lehi defense to rally to the ball, but good mix from Lone Peak. Not trying to push the ball upfield like we saw against American Fork. They're taking some short stuff early. They'll take their shots, I'm sure, but I like the patience they're showing early.
3rd and 3 for an offense that averages almost 35 points a game. Early motion by Tahi out into the slot. Empty now for Christensen. Looking to pass. Gets it out quick, but it's deflected at the line of scrimmage. Great stop that time by the Lehi defensive line to force an early 3 and out.
Yeah, he just has to get the ball out. It was there. They had a little streak and an out route on the far side. Quick speed out, and he just held the ball a little bit too long. I don't know if it was already, the defender was already in his face, and that's why it got blocked anyway, but the route was there. It was quick, though.
So some early defense here in this first quarter as the Knights will punt it back inside their own territory. The boot is away. It's high, and Lehi will let it drop and roll, and it'll be caught near the 30-yard line, and that is where Lehi will start their 2nd possession.
Eka. I want to see Eka. That's if Coach Cooper, I think he probably is thinking the same thing. All right, let's get Eka the ball, 1st and 10. Oh, we got a TV timeout.
We do have a TV timeout, which is a good time to remind you a couple of our sponsors that are bringing this game to you here tonight. Skin Science. Skin Science is the presenting sponsor of Lone Peak Football. Start your journey as an esthetician today. Visit www.skinscienceinstitute.com to schedule a tour and enroll now. Also brought to you by G2G, helping busy people eat well when they're not when they are on the go. doTERRA, a proud sponsor of Lone Peak Football. doTERRA's products help athletes around the world maintain the highest level of health and wellness. Learn more about how you can up your health and wellness game at doterra.com. Tires Les Schwab, over 73 years ago, we set the standard for tire service. Today, we continue to go out of our way to keep you on your way. We are local experts who can give you useful advice for the roads you drive. And Open Loop Energy. Whether it's on the field or in the field, pressure reveals the prepared. Open Logo Energy, built for the moments that matter. So both of these offenses struggling here in this first half. Lehi really moved the ball well. First play, got it in to Lone Peak territory at the 47, able to run the ball with Eka for a gain of 20, and then they just really stalled once they got close to the red zone. So you have to think, like you said, they got to put Eka in positions to run the ball early and often.
Yeah. I mean, they got the two big plays, one to Glasgow, one to Eka, but really you'd like to see a 2nd and 4 with Eka running the ball 2 or 3 times in a row.
Motion by Wren. He's going to fake a handoff and a read option. Bingham's going to keep it, maybe gets a yard on the play.
Trying to stretch that defense out with some outside zone.
Doesn't do anything that time. It'll be 2nd and 8 now. Ball on their own 32-yard line. So for both of these offenses that average really high numbers throughout this season, these defenses are proving pretty feisty here in this first quarter.
Well, I'll tell you, there's a reason Low Peak beat Corner Canyon. It's because their defense stepped up, and they're a fantastic defense. And that's part of the reason I think Lone Peak has a good chance to win it all.
Here's a handoff to Eck up the middle. He's got room open. The ball comes out. And let's see who comes on it. Lone Peak is saying they've got it. And they do. What a stop by this Knights team. Just as we were mentioning it, Eka had all the room in the world, but he coughs up the football, and the Knights have excellent field position.
I didn't see who got their hand in right there at the end, but, I mean, it was a house call. He was gone, and somebody tipped it out. What a great play defensively for Lone Peak. But, I mean, it sucks that he fumbled, but as a Lehi coach, you're like, okay, that's what we're doing right there. We're going to run power. We're going to just run it right down their throat. So I know we fumbled the ball, and you hate to see that, but at least Lehi's got that to come back to. So we'll see what Lone Peak does. Quick turnaround. They go deep.
They are. Here's Christensen. He's got it. Great catch made by Kenan Pula at the 35, even though he was pressured outside by Max Jenkins, the senior DB.
Fantastic job. That's one of the ways you attack that cover 2 zone is you send a guy deep and then you sit somebody at about 10, 15 yards to the sideline where there's typically a soft spot. But the corner did a nice job. He dropped and then came back down. Good throw that time. That's a tough throw all the way across the field.
2nd and 3 now. Ball at the 35-yard line. Lined up here on the left hash. And it's going to be a delayed handoff up the right side. They've got room and more. The Knights are pushing Tate Barney. Got it all the way down to the 15-yard line. So there's the Knights saying, hey, if you think you can run the ball, we can do it too. What a great run.
The bigs up front did a good job of staying on their block, even though Lehi did a good job of standing up. Lone Peak stayed in contact with their assignment, did a really good job of bouncing the ball to the outside. It's a good sign for Lone Peak. They can run the football like that.
It's 1st and 10, Knights.
Knights looking to capitalize on a turnover forced by their defense against Eka. See if they can get a score right here. Christensen, another delayed handoff. Here's Barney up the right side. We've got Laundry on the field, though. It looks to be a hold on that right side.
I love the play call. Go back to what works. Make them stop it. Unfortunately, it looks like it's a holding call on the offensive line for Lone Peak.
And it's penalties like that that really set you back. Calling that Lone Peak American Fort game a couple weeks ago, it was penalties like that that just really stopped their momentum when they were trying to get themselves back in this game.
Yeah, it's hard enough to score when you don't add extra yards. Fortunately for Lone Peak, it's still first down, but, they picked up 8, 9, 10 yards both times they ran the ball there, so I wouldn't be surprised if, we might see a little screen to the outside, or maybe they put it up into the corner if they get the right coverage, but I think you're going to see some more run game out of Lone Peak. I like to see that.
The elements are starting to play their way into this game. We got some wind now entering the field. Might have some rain later on in the game if this goes a little bit long. 1st and long now. Christensen's going to go deep. He's got Pula out there, and it's going to be pass interference in the end zone. Pula was trying to reach back over that, a little bit underthrown, and that's going to be a PI.
Well, they got the coverage that they wanted. They had man coverage on the outside without a safety over the top. He put it up. Good job right there by Lone Peak. They're going to get the ball down close to the goal line. Now I'd like to see if they, maybe they go back to the run game. But if you're going to get man coverage on Pula on the outside, it's pretty tough not to go to him.
Penalty goes against Gavin Smith, so it'll set up the Knights back to where they originally started, a couple yards ahead actually, so it'll be a first and about 7.
I think that should reach second. Who knows?
First down 6, Knights.
First down 6.
And another fumble near the snap. And it looks like the Knights have recovered, though, to cover up that error.
I gasped because I know exactly how the offensive coordinator feels, man. You're down there, things are going well, and you fumble the snap. So they gotta make sure that everybody's set. It seemed like they were a little bit hurried to get the snap off that time.
So this mark down distance has been all over the place. Now it's going to be a 2nd and 9. I mean, we've had just about every yardage and down you could think of.
So they got safety held down here. They're going to go up top.
Motion by Pula. It's going to be a read option. Christensen's going to keep. Gets it down. Ball's out again! And who has hopped on it? It looks like the Knights have hopped on it, but one of the referees saying he was down before the ball came out.
Knights recover.
If you had a plus or minus on fumbles, I think it's the plus tonight.
Don't know how many of you were betting on that.
No,
but that's going to be a 3rd and long now, so Knights really had momentum after that great run by Tate Barney, but after that it's been flags, it's been all over the place. So now you have to think this 3rd down's crucial here for this drive.
They're going to put a safety over the top of Pula down here, which means up top you've totally got numbers, especially with your running back. If he goes up top, you're going to have
motion. Christensen looking to go towards the end zone, and he overthrows his intended receivers. So that'll set up a field goal now for Lone Peak.
Little bit mishandled snap again. A couple of times we've seen that where he's not getting the snap clean. I don't know if he took his eyes off the ball, if the wind had something to do with it. He's trying to hit a little bang post up top in front of the safety. Just unable to get the ball there on time.
So it'll be Jake Barker ready to kick the field goal. He's top 4 in the state in field goals made. You have to think that plays a part in games like this, where it is up and through. Lone Peak gets on the board first, and they now lead it 3-0 here on the KSLSports.com Rewind Sports Network. What a drive made by the Knights.
Yeah, really good job there, getting down, get some points, especially when you've got the wind behind you. You want to take advantage of that anytime you can, especially the kicking game. And good snap, good hold right there for Lone Peak. So good job executing the little things there on special teams. Be interesting to see what we get out of Lehi now. Are we going to just get glass through the ball going downhill, which is what I would expect. They should feel a panic to hurry and try and score because, 3:52, they get the ball going the other way with the wind at their back, so they'll probably take a little time off the clock, try and finish this drive heading north.
Good time to remind you of a couple more sponsors. Quench It. Quench It is the drive-through soda and snack shop that satisfies your cravings when you're on the run. Think about it for just a second and you'll realize your thirst is probably calling you. And come to think of it, so is your hunger. So jump in the car and head on over. We're probably close by. Also brought to you by Skin Science Institute. Skin Science Institute offers the best aesthetic instruction and services in the Salt Lake City area. Whether you're a student looking for a new career path or a client looking for affordable services, we have it all. We are dedicated to providing our clients the ambiance, relaxation, products, and professionalism of a high-end spa without the high-end prices. So the Knights able to get 3 off of the turnover that happened in Lehi territory with a cough up by Eka, but they could only get a field goal out of it. You have to think, if you're the Pioneers, they're pretty lucky.
Yeah, Lone Peak tried to give it back to them a couple of times there for whatever reason. I don't know, just nerves or...
And we did mention, there's a pretty strong wind right now that's coming, and we noticed, especially on some of those snaps with Lone Peak, it seemed hesitant, delayed with Christensen. I don't know if that's playing a factor or if, like you said, maybe it's a little bit of jitters.
Yeah, it's typically he's started a bunch of games. He's comfortable with the exchange.
So now Lehi with their third opportunity. Drove down the field in their first one, couldn't get anything going once they got close to the red zone in no man's land. Last time, a fumble and turnover. Let's see what they come up with on this one. Kickoff is away, it's high, and it is back through the end zone, so Lehi will start at their own 20. But we did mention, on that fumble play, Eka was going to be a house call if he doesn't cough that up. So you have to think they're going to keep running this ball.
Yeah, did a really good job. They ran it left, a little power, followed his blocker. Down block was great, kick out block was great. Might have just, got so excited.
Got some strong wind, as you can see by the flags in the backfield. I mean, it's starting to whip right now. We saw some lightning far away distance pregame. Let's see how it plays a factor here. 1st and 10 Lehi now. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Bingham will survey. He'll take the snap. Looking to pass. He's got a post route, but is well defended that time by the DB. A great breakup made by Gabe Harmon.
Now, once again, cover 2 zone. Lone Peak's dropping back. It's really small windows that he's trying to get that ball into.
Sets up a 2nd and 10. And we haven't seen them run the ball on first down.
As a play caller, one of the first 2 plays is going to be a run no matter what.
You have to think that's what they're thinking right here. Some simulated pressure. Now it's going to be a read option. Bingham's going to keep it himself. But a nice read as he's tackled for only a gain of 1 on the play.
Yeah, he might have should have given that one. I think he was out the gate.
Tony Grimmer there again, the senior, having himself a senior night so far here in this first quarter.
Yeah, 3rd and 7 against this wind. Feels like 3rd and 15.
With 8 yards to go, it's 3rd down, Pioneers.
So here we go. Bingham in the shotgun, Eka to his left. And he's got 2 receivers both ways. Looking to pass. He's got time, shuffles his feet, and it was tipped for a moment, but they're going to say it's incomplete. Lasker, it looks like, didn't have possession as he went out of bounds.
Yeah, nice little 15 back to 10 comeback route, and he just bobbled it. He made the catch, but feet weren't in bounds. So that's a big stop for Lone Peak. They're going to get the ball back with 2.5 minutes at least. Wind still at their back. Little momentum. This is a tough. I mean, he needs to move up to the 40-yard line. This ball's not going to get to midfield.
So Bodie Hammond will set to punt it away. It'll be Fanua set to return. Yep, and there's that short punt, just as you mentioned. Makes it maybe to the 44-yard line, and then it'll be downed at the 41. So Lone Peak now in back-to-back possessions in excellent field territory.
Yeah, 254. Nice to have the wind at your back again as an offense. Chance to still throw the ball a little bit. They did a nice job. Both times they ran right. They were able to bounce it outside. So good job by the outside tackle of hooking that edge defender. We'll see if they get up top again with the run game.
Referees conferring right now near the spot of the ball. Both teams just waiting for their confirmation to get play going again.
It's a TV game, so.
That's true. We're going to have a lot more timeouts than we usually do.
Yeah, more timeouts.
More time for ad reads, though, so we'll appreciate that.
Yeah, what an amazing testament to both of the booster clubs and the communities. I mean, the number of sponsors that they've got for this game is really impressive, both these teams. Oh, so they're going to warn them for saying a bad word.
So we have some coaches coming out, talking with the refs.
They're like, you guys remember the very first day at camp when we talked about the words you can't say? All right, one of you guys said it. Please don't do it again. And usually there's one guy who just can't stop saying it, so everybody's looking to the one poor guy. So
as a coach, you have a meeting preseason with these referees to go over rules. that you guys have to abide by as well.
Yeah, typically what they'll do is they'll send the officials in during camp, and so we'll do one of our scrimmages with the officials, and they'll go over all the new rules and the things that they're going to emphasize that year.
So it looks like they're having their teams meet together entirely with the head coach giving them probably the same talk that the refs gave them.
Yeah, this is too important a game to let incidental things like that have an impact. You don't want to get a kid thrown out. Especially, and then you've got to miss next week too. So it's a big point of emphasis, as it should be.
So Lone Peak done with their short team meeting here on the field. Lehigh soon to join them. But this wind is really picking up. I mean,
yeah, it's really nice to be up here in the wind and the weather and the lightning. I mean, the views are fantastic, but now that the sun's down, that doesn't really play.
And last week we were caught up in Farmington with a weather delay that forced their game to move to Saturday. I mean, that was probably the most lightning I've seen in quite a while.
Yeah.
So now we're going to get back to some football. 1st and 10 now, ball at the 42-yard line of the Pioneers. Lehigh having to force, hopefully, maybe another field goal for them, but Knights are moving well. Christensen looking to pass. Nice roll out in the flat. It's Tahi making some moves. Flag flies, looks to be a face mask as he gets down to the 38-yard line.
Again, I love that. Get the ball outside to your guys, a little play action to the left to try and freeze those linebackers from being able to pursue. Both guys did a really good job. Well, I guess a too good a job of blocking. But
penalty will go against the offense on a holding call, so now that sets them back once again. So these last 2 possessions for Lone Peak have been littered with yellow flags all over the place.
Yeah, it's really too bad because they've run some nice plays.
So now 1st and 18 for Lone Peak. This spread offense, 2 receivers to the right and left. Christensen, a delayed handoff up the middle, and a nice run made that time by Isaac Fanua as he gets back near the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, the last 3 times they've run the ball to the right side of the offensive line, they picked up 10 yards a pop. It's hard as an offensive coordinator to look at, I got 2nd and 10, I want to throw it. But, man, when you're getting 10 a pop like they are right now.
So they'll go same formation instead. It will be Fanua to the right of Christensen. Cruz, there's another handoff. But this time Fanua can barely make it back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, same exact look, except they came left. Lehigh did a much better job up front with some penetration. Got into the backfield. They won some of those battles, whereas the play before, Lone Peak won. So really, it comes down to the battle of the trenches, as we all know.
3rd and 10. At the 42-yard line, Knights have to get this. They lead by 3 currently as we are now under 2 to go here in this first quarter. Simulated blitz by this Lehigh front. Christensen finds the shallow route. Catch will be made, but it won't be a first down. Knights make it out to about the 35-yard line, but a nice catch that time to try and get some yards made by Thomas Herget.
I think they're going to go for it. It's a little far for a kick.
Especially with this wind.
Yeah, the wind's tough. They've been running it right side really well.
So 4th and 5. Lehigh went for it on their first possession. Went for it on 4th down. Stopped a yard short as they were caught in no man's land. But theirs was a 4th and long. This will be about 4 yards to gain here. Try and keep this possession going. Motion by Holmes as Christensen looks back to the sideline for the call.
Little check with me. They're trying to see if they can get man cover on the outside. If they do, they're going to throw probably a little hitch because there's no way they're not going to give them a big cushion if they're man cover on the outside with Pula. So I still like running the ball.
Timeout taken by Lone Peak. As we remind you, this game is brought to you by Smoked Taco. Starting from our roots as a taco truck in Salt Lake City, Utah, and smoking meats professionally for over 15 years. The Smoked Taco decided to create something special by using premium smoked meats for tacos. The result is the best tacos you'll ever eat. Available in a restaurant and taco delivery, taco catering, or however you want it. So Lehi has been able to put some pressure on this Knights squad, force a fourth down here. What are you doing here if you're the Knights?
Hard count for sure, because they almost got him to jump the last time. Hard count it really hard, see if you can get him to jump. Looks like they're going to go man coverage across the board. Man, with that defense, you got to run the football. I mean, run it right.
So here we go, empty set now. Christensen, he's going to pass. He's got time. He had a receiver and it's intercepted. Up the far sideline goes Lehi. And they make it back into Lone Peak territory at the 40. Murphy Madsen with the interception.
Big time defensive play that time for Lehi. He just threw the ball a little bit behind his feet. He had an open receiver. Kind of a little bit of a deep post. He had him open. The corner dropped deep. Just unable to execute that. You know, you don't know, the wind probably had something to do with that.
Number 13, roughing the pass.
Oh.
And that is critical, as we just got a roughing the passer call against Lehi. That negates the interception and then adds 15 yards and a first down conversion for Lone Peak. That might have been and could be the biggest swing of tonight's game here in this first quarter.
Wow, that's a huge break for Lone Peak. Great job defensively by Lehi. Just got to stay off the quarterback. Holy cow, that's a tough call. I didn't see it, so whether it's legitimate or not, I can't speak to it. But man, you do everything right,
and especially on a turnover play like that. Yeah. That's a swing of momentum. So that'll set Lone Peak up inside the 25 now at the 21. And that might give them new life here to try and score. Got about 20 seconds left here in this first quarter.
You got single coverage up top, double coverage down here.
Christensen will get the snap. Play action pass. Nice post route up the middle. It's caught by Pula. Sets him up first and goal inside the 10.
Beautiful job of finding the soft spot in that zone. A little 10, 12-yard dig route across the middle. Found a spot between the linebackers. Christensen does a nice job of delivering the ball, and that's a tough thing for a quarterback. Come back from an interception, even though it didn't count, it's still in your head, so it's nice to see him throw the ball on time and make a good delivery.
So that will be the end of the first quarter as Lone Peak leads it 3-0 here on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. To Lone Peak High School here on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. Nate Thatcher alongside Dave Harrison. And Dave, we saw back and forth first quarter. A turnover, an almost turnover that was negated by roughing the passer, but lots of action back and forth, but Lone Peak ready to strike here and extend the lead.
Really a defensive battle so far. The offense has done okay, but a lot of mistakes, penalties have hurt. So this is a big opportunity for Lone Peak into the win, but they're close enough that shouldn't play a factor.
So it'll be a first and goal at the 8-yard line. As now it looks like we have an extended timeout of sorts. Could be a good time to remind you of another sponsor of tonight's game, Westlake Emergency Center. In a healthcare emergency, the Westlake Emergency Center is a part of your team. The Westlake Emergency Center is always open and located conveniently in West Lehi. The Westlake Emergency Center is proud to be a sponsor of Lehi School football.
I think this is going to come down to a battle of running the ball. I mean, it's the wind's strong enough, it's going to affect the passing game. And both teams have proven at this point that they're willing to sit back in a cover two or deep zone defense, which invites the run game. So we'll see who takes advantage of that.
Pula Twins have three receptions between them.
Now from the 8-yard line.
Yeah, this is a tough cover down here. you need a safety down here. He's just going to run a post inside him.
So a substitution now for the Pioneers. Looks like Kyson Butterfield having some issues on the sideline. Or excuse me, it's Adrian Meredith.
We've seen Lone Peak run the ball really well to the right.
Early motion. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Barney. Gets out to the 6. But then he's stuffed by that Pioneer defensive squad. So a nice stop there on first down.
Yeah, linebackers did a good job stepping up. He hit the hole hard. I like the play call.
Sets up a 2nd and goal now at. They're going to mark him down at the 7, so only a gain of 1 on that play. You have to think they're going to try and go to their star receivers here near the end zone.
Well, they brought a safety out, so they didn't have the look they wanted on the outside. We'll see if Lehi bumps another safety out, which it looks like they will. And they've got a linebacker bumping out up top, so this is really a run look. Again to the right.
It's going to be a play action. Pass towards the end zone is incomplete. Looks to be a little bit behind Pula that time, but almost a triple coverage that time.
I like his timing on the ball because he hit him in the hole that was there, the only hole that was there, and he hit him in it. It was maybe a little bit behind, but the timing, he got it out on time. That's a big time throw right there. Unfortunately, they weren't able to come up with the catch, but they really want to get to the end zone right here.
Very different than a field goal.
From the 7-yard line.
So this play would be critical. It would extend it to a 2-possession game here early in the second quarter. 3 receivers to the right now for the Knights. Christensen looking to pass. Going for a fade in the end zone. Was that caught? They're going to say it was incomplete. Just couldn't get a foot in bounds. Kenan Pula almost got the toe drag, but just couldn't stay inside.
Yeah, it's just so hard to throw a fade at the 5, 6, 7-yard line, and he did have some room there, but I think that wind just carried the ball a little bit and just enough to push him out the side of the end zone.
So that's going to bring out Barker and company for another field goal. Able to make it from short distance last time. Doesn't have to go against the wind, though, here in the second quarter.
Well, I mean, he's dead into him, but he's from the 15, so he should be able to convert this.
It is up and through, and that will extend the Lone Peak's lead to a 6-point lead. So still a 1-possession game. Lehigh still in this. But now we're seeing, until they hit that 10-yard line, the Knights having a little bit of momentum here as they're driving down this field.
Yeah, they've done a good enough job to move the ball down. You really feel like you want to get into the end zone. You got first and goal at 7, 8-yard line. They ran the ball the first time and then just a couple of incompletions. So, I still, especially with the looks that you're getting defensively, I still like the run game for both these teams. And I really think we're going to see Aka pound the ball down the field this time with Lehigh.
On the other side, the Lehigh defense has been forced to defend on their own side of the field now on back-to-back possessions, and they've only allowed 6 points. I think a lot could be said for their play as well.
Yeah, those are wins for the Lehigh defense for sure. Even though Lone Peak did push it down the field, they are in a little bit of a bend, don't break defense, and when they had to buckle down and make a couple of stops, they did. Pretty good throw on second down. Probably look at that one and think, man, we should have converted there. But so, yeah, big possession here for Lehigh.
Taking off for the Knights, number 28, Jake.
So let's see if we get a return on this time, since the ball might be a little bit short going into this win.
Yeah, in fact, you probably going to get it about the 10-yard line, I would expect.
So Fabrizio and Glasker set to return, and we'll see if they can make something out of this kickoff here to start their 4th possession. Kick is away. It is short, and Fabrizio will bring it out. He's going to toss it, though, to Glasker, who's got a lane on that right side. He's cutting it back, and he's wide open. 50, 40, 30. Cuts it back in, stays in, touchdown Pioneers!
He's a dude. What a run back.
Dexter returns that for a Pioneer touchdown.
Wow, that's big time. That's really going to kick the momentum back over to Lehi. And man, what a fun play to watch.
And just like that, this game is tied. And that really shows you the difference that defense, like we just mentioned, can make. If you force field goals in one play, this game is completely back and tied up.
Now, he outran the entire field on that. He cut that back and hit another gear and was gone. and kudos to the officials. There were a couple of plays, a couple of blocks there that were maybe close, and they didn't throw it. And I appreciate that as a coach because those kids work so hard. That's a big play in a big game, and they let the players make, the outcome.
So flag on the PAT attempt. And it looks like it's going to be against the Knights. The head referee's talking with some of the Lone Peak players, but now conferring with his other referees.
Hopefully nobody said a word.
Yeah, we've got another long moment here. Let's see what the ref says.
During the try, illegal participation, defense, 12 men on the field. That'll be enforced on the kickoff. The try is good.
So,
all right, good.
Lone Peak with too many men on the field on a PAT attempt, so they'll just add that now to the kickoff. But Lehi now leads it 7-6. What a comeback, and that all came from special teams, no less.
Really, you get your best guy the ball. It doesn't matter if it's special teams or on offense. He could change a game by himself, and I would expect, get him the ball a bunch. Look on the back of your play sheet. Here's all the plays for Legend Gasker. Let's go, go down that, get him the ball a little bit. Of course, I say that, and then I tell him you got to run the ball, but it's easy to coach from up here. Way easier.
And number 14, Seth Rose.
As here come the Knights now, down for the first time tonight, trailing by 1. And if they don't return this one, which is highly unlikely due to the field position of the kickoff, this will be the first time they've started deep in their own territory in a while.
I've kind of been itching after watching all the NFL kickoffs. I'm itching for some, onside kicks where nobody knows it's coming. It's fun to actually see the kick. I mean, I kind of like it too, but it's kind of fun to watch them do it the right way here. And whereas you're kicking the ball from the opposite side of the 50.
Really, even if you still attempt an onside kick, it has to go to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, it's coming out anyways. Take a shot.
After the penalty, the Pioneers will kick from the Knights' 45-yard
The Knights do
line.
have 5 players lined up at that 10-yard line that it has to reach.
Yeah, that's standard kickoff return. 5 across the front, 4 in the back. So, see if they onside it.
Nope, they're just going to kick it through the back of the end zone. So that is where the Knights will start. Will be at their own 20. No risk right there.
Knights take over.
Yeah, and starting at the 20-yard line, going into the wind, even though the wind subsided a little bit. Oh, great, there's lightning. So the wind's not quite as bad as it was in the first quarter, especially there towards the end. But yeah, 20, starting at the 20, that's a long field.
So Christensen will come back out. Pula Twins, Tahi Company coming out.
From the 20-yard line, it's 1st and 10.
This will be a critical drive, as this will be the first time they faced a long field ahead of them. A lot more plays at their disposal with a lot of green also in front of them. Christensen looking to pass. It's going to be delayed handoff. Up the middle, Tahi's got some room. Cuts it up near the 27-yard line. Sets up a 2nd and short. Nice stop by Lehi, as Tahi was just making some moves there on 1st down.
I love the draw play. I think it's underutilized in high school football. Really good job executing that. He got up, got his eyes downfield, which really froze those DBs or got them to drop. And really good job up front, opening up that hole. I like it. Start off on the ground.
2nd and 3. Christensen will get the snap. There's another handoff. Tahi's now got it up the left side, and they'll bounce out of bounds after getting a first down. So 2 run plays now start for the Knights. Looks like they're taking your advice up here in the booth.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what Lehi's giving them. They're taking away that stuff over the top with the safeties deep, and you get a couple of guys making blocks up front, force the defense to make plays from the second level. It's really tough on a defense.
A reminder, our clock is unofficial, so we'll try and keep it as close as possible. 1st and 10 now, ball at the 32-yard line. Bunch formation. Christensen, here's another handoff. Tahi's got it. He's bouncing out to the edge. Can he break it? He can for a couple of yards as he makes it past the 35 and gets out to the 38-yard line.
Heck yeah, take that all day. That's just a really fantastic job. Kind of making something out of nothing.
He's stopped by Tracy Fabrizio.
So gain of 6 on the play. Sets up a 2nd and 4.
It really looked like Lehi had set the edge and that he was going to have to stay inside, and he just kind of out-quicked everybody to the outside. Again, hey, that's three run plays in a row.
So on 2nd and 4, Christensen's going to pass, and a nice deflection on the outside made that time by Colt Kelly, the junior linebacker.
It's kind of a tough route. I mean, I know he's run a couple of in routes, but it's kind of what they call a whip route. You really have to run it with 7 steps to make it work. Otherwise, it doesn't look like you're really running an in route. So the DB's able to, or the linebacker's able to just kind of sit. It's almost better if you're going to try and get the ball out that quick just to run a little speed out.
So 3rd and 4 now for Lone Peak. Christensen looking to pass, and he is sacked in the backfield. What a play made by Pettasimani Taki, the senior defensive end and BYU commit.
Yeah, Taki just beat his guy quick to the outside. Christensen didn't have a chance there. That was just fantastic defensive play by Lehi, and now they're going to get the ball again because this, the wind's still blowing. It's not really bad, but he's at the 30. He needs to move up. He's not going past the 40, I don't think.
And it is Glasker set to receive after running it back on the kickoff. Coaches are telling him to move up. So the punt is away. And it's pretty far. It makes it out to about the 42-yard line with some good bounce. Glasker is going to return it, though. And he gets it out past the 42, the 41-yard line.
I love that attitude. Returns a kickoff. He's looking at any way to get the ball in his hands and trying to make another play.
Timeout on the field. We'll take it with them. It's the Pioneers leading by 1 here on the Rewind Sports Network. Peak High School as Lehi now starting their own drive. Bingham's going to keep it on a high snap. Maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage on that right side. Pioneers right now struggling to move this ball.
Yeah, I still think you need to stay with it. Get Eka the ball. I mean, Bingham's decent at running the ball, but he's nowhere close to Eka. I mean, get Eka some touches, let him make some plays, get Legend the ball a little bit.
So 2nd and 10. It's going to be an empty set now. Bingham by himself in the backfield. 2 receivers to his right, 3 to his left. He's looking to pass. He's got some extra pressure. It's caught on a shallow route. Here's Wren up the far side, able to juke some tackles and get a first down in Lone Peak territory at the 48.
Just running empty, 4 verticals, everybody clears out. Hope you've got enough time to let that linebackers deepen up, and then you hit that little cross route and just outrun everybody. A good play call there for Lehi.
Sets up a 1st and 10 now here in Knights territory. Ekin out to the left of Bingham.
1st and 10, Pioneers.
And now it's going to be handoff to Eka on that right side. Bouncing away, but he is stopped on that right side. Defense able to shut him down. Loss of 1 on the play.
Number 24, Devon Eka, the ball carrier.
Again, they're trying to get a little outside zone. They haven't had near as much success trying to get outside on Lehi. Eka's had a couple of really nice runs right downhill, but now they're behind the sticks a little bit.
2nd and 11 now, under 8 to go here in this first half. Bingham surveys the defense. Now he's going to hand off to Eka. Eka making some moves near the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of 2 on the play, but nothing more.
Yeah, good job defensively. Lone Peak just held the line of scrimmage. They ran power. They pulled the guard up into the hole, and just a good job by the defensive line from Lone Peak to hold up that O-line. It didn't really give him any room to run. So back to a 3rd and 9. They do have the wind behind them. See if they try and run Glasker by somebody. They do have a safety up top. So
here we go. Big 3rd down. Bingham looking to pass. He's shuffling his feet. Throws off the check down to Eka. Eka makes some moves. Gain of about 4 or 5 on the play, but it'll not be enough to get a 1st down.
Yeah, still I think you're 4-down territory here. You're back into a little bit more of a reasonable conversion. Really good job that time, Bingham getting the ball out. Glasker fell down on his route.
So it'll be a 4th and 4, similar to what Lone Peak had to do. And besides that, roughing the passer, they threw an interception, so Lehi was able to step up to the call in that fashion. Let's see if Lone Peak can do the same.
It's 4th down for the Pioneers.
Big play right here. Bingham looking to pass. He's got a corner blitz, and the pass is caught for a 1st down. Who else but legend Glasker?
Good job there. Again, we've seen a little success in the middle of the field with that 10-yard in route. Glasker does a good job. Kind of sits down to the hole. Good delivery that time by Wyatt.
So a key conversion here for the Pioneers as they now make it down to the Lone Peak 33-yard line. Handoff to Eka. No, it's going to be a fake. Wren's got it. Screenplay is not going to go anywhere. Maybe a gain of about 1.
Bingham completes to number 1, Cam Wren. Stopped by Gabe Harmon. And
RPO there. He has a chance. He could have handed the ball off. He liked to look outside. Good job rallying the ball for Lone Peak. Man, I like giving Eka the ball. He looks so good in space.
Now reaching the 5-minute mark here in this first half. 2nd and 9 now for Lehi.
You got 5 guys guarding 3. You got to run it.
Handoff Eka up the middle, and he has stumbled near the 30. Great defensive pressure on that edge. Led that time by Tag Zundel, the senior defensive end.
Yeah, Zundel pinched hard, saw that play coming. If he doesn't make that play, there's all sorts of room to run there. So good job defensively for Lone Peak making a play. Again, a big 3rd down.
And Lehi really draining this clock with all these plays. This has most likely been our largest possession of the evening.
Back into an empty. I love an empty. Try and run somebody right down the middle of the field, but you got to cover 1 man zone.
Here's a screen up the middle, and they're not able to go anywhere. Makayo, the freshman receiver there on the play, maybe a gain of half a yard, so they'll be stopped at the 30. Looks like they're sending out the field goal unit.
Yeah, Lehi didn't get the pass rush they needed. That probably needed to develop just a little bit longer, let those D linemen get about a yard deeper.
So Bodie Hammond will come out to attempt what looks to be about a 47-yard field goal. He's top 10 in the state in field goals made. And let's see how he does with this one. Snap is away. Kick is high. It is over, and it looks like it is good. What a great kick. Hammond now able to extend the lead, makes it 10-6 for the Pioneers.
Turned that over nice. Got it really dead center.
So Lone Peak with some work to do now as they trail up by 4 with under 4 to go here in the second quarter on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com.
I think it's very biting.
We welcome you back to Lone Peak High School as Lehi has just kicked a 47-yard field goal to take a 10-6 lead after trailing by 6 in the second quarter. Lehi able to force 2 field goals and now really gaining some momentum on the offensive side of the ball as they now lead it by 4.
Good job getting points there for Lehi. Lone Peak has a chance to go into the locker room with some momentum if they can run some 4-minute O here. You don't want to give Lehi the ball back with any time left in this half. So you're going to try and do what you can to get down the field and score. Under 30 seconds left in the first half. It's going to take some 6, 7, 8 yard gains and avoiding penalties. They've got to stay out of their own way.
So here comes Cruz Christensen once again to try and get another drive going. Couldn't get it last time as they try and retake a lead that they had for most of the first quarter and for a small portion here in the second.
20-yard line, 1st and 10, Lone Peak Knights.
So back at their own 20-yard line, 2 receivers to the right and left. Barney now to the left of Christensen. Early motion. Sets up a pass, and it's intercepted at the middle! Here come the Pioneers the other way! And Lehi able to get it down to the 4-yard line. Vincent Evans, the senior linebacker, now sets up Lehi in excellent field territory.
We've seen a couple of dig routes already, a little in route at about 10, 12 yards. Evans does a fantastic job just jumping that throw.
His 3rd interception of the season, and what a season he has had. Averages over 10 tackles a game. He's had 3.5 sacks, almost had a pick 6 that time in their biggest game of the year. And what a setup now for his offense.
Yeah, really big time. And look, we're starting to see a little bit of rain. Big time for Lehi to be able to get another end zone, or get into the end zone before the end of the half. Wow, what's a big turnaround. Special teams and defense.
So the rain's starting to trickle down. Bingham's got it. It's going to be a handoff to his lineman up the gut.
Oh.
And it will be a touchdown for the Pioneers. What a formation and what a finish. Briggs Love, the senior defensive lineman.
It looked like they handed off to like a storage shed, and he ran right down the middle. Oh. The safety coming up to make that tackle did not want to do that.
And that is how you respond to a short yardage situation if you're the offense. Hand it to the big guy and let it rip.
He looked like a house running through the line.
PAT is up and in. And now Lehi, in just dramatic fashion, has flipped this game upside down, now on a 17-0 run. And Briggs Love, the 6', 265 lineman, able to rush it for 4 yards and a tutty. That's pretty impressive.
He was not going to be denied. He was going hard.
So now Lone Peak, all momentum has now been stolen here on this senior night. And Cruz Christensen struggling as he just threw his 5th interception of the season. He only had 1 going into that American Fork game 2 weeks ago, and now it's 5, so 4 in the last 3 games.
Yeah, again, we just had this exact conversation. They need to get down the field and score before the end of the half to kind of get some momentum back, because everything's going Lehi's way. Defensively, special teams, they've done just enough on offense to run a bunch of clock, and Lone Peak's a little bit behind the 8 ball here. It's going to be hard for the offensive coordinator to know, do I trust my guy? Do I try and put it downfield, or I just run the ball and try and get this clock out?
Let's see if the Knights can come back together, put a good drive, and finish out this first half, maybe close down this deficit a little bit.
Yeah, Coach Brockbank's going to rally his guys. He's done this before. He's seen it all. I expect they're going to come out and have a couple of really good plays here, a little 4-minute offense. Let's just try and get 1 first down.
Jaron Pula giving Christensen some encouragement as he heads to the first formation here. 1st and 10 at their own 20. Cruz, he's going to keep it on a read option, and he gets it out to about the 24-yard line. Takes a nasty hit by Taki, but a little bit of yardage there.
Hate to see your guy take a hit like that, but it's a good play. You picked up 4 or 5 yards on first down. You've got plenty of time. You don't need to throw the ball, especially when you got a 5-man, you got a light box.
So 2nd and 6. It's going to be handoff to Barney. He goes up the middle, And he will get it out to about the 27-yard line for a gain of
Number
3.
4, Tate Barney, the ball carrier.
Third short, boy. Lehi's going for that ball.
Brought down by number 70, Trey Nelson.
Barney did a good job holding on to that.
So after an early turnover by the Pioneers, it just seems like
3-yard gain.
everything has flipped the other way as they've been able to capitalize on Lone Peak's errors when the Knights couldn't really do it in that first half.
Yeah. Getting in the end zone so big.
Here's Christensen on a massive 3rd down and 3. And flags fly. And we've got a false start. That'll set them back, so now it'll be a 3rd and 8.
Pula twitched just a little bit.
False start. Offense, number 5. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
So now that's a completely different play call. You only had 3 yards to gain. They had 2 run plays now. This has to be a pass.
Depends on if he's looking at that clock thinking, all right, we've got to run as much time as we can off.
So here we go. From their own 22, they need to make it out to the 30. Trips right. Christensen looking to pass. He's got Pula. Oh, an excellent reception. Able to juke some defenders as he makes it out to the 37-yard line. I mean, when you see a contested field like that, you don't think it's going to happen positively for Lone Peak, but then you've got, hey, it's Pula out there. He's going to catch it.
When you've got a guy like that, you feel much better about putting the ball up into some traffic. He went up, made a nice play. And that's really what Lone Peak needs. Their studs really need to step up and make plays like that. Good throw there, give them a chance to make a play.
Here's Barney on a handoff. Gets it out to the 41-yard line on a dive. So, as you mentioned, they're really going to try and run this clock out.
Yeah, now that they're a little closer to midfield, I think you'll start to see a little bit of quicker action. Maybe take a little 5-yard speed out or a little curl route if you've got a soft coverage on the outside.
3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Christensen's got time, steps up in the pocket. Now he's going to roll out, finds Pula near midfield. He gets out of bounds at the 49.
He could have done that a long time ago. If he would have just caught the ball, kept his eyes downfield, he felt the pressure, and so he stepped out of the pocket. If he would have just stepped into that throw, he was there right off the bat. But a really good job of keeping his eyes downfield, and Pula got his hands up, let him know he was there.
So that'll be a 1st and 10 now at midfield on the 50. Similar formation as last down. Christensen looking to pass. He's going to go with this check down. It's tipped and intercepted once again. Trayson Fabrizio gets down to the 31-yard line. And Lehi has just completely turned this game over.
Oh, that's so tough for a quarterback. It looked like a pretty good throw. It gets tipped. And Lehi's defense is in the right place to make a play. And now they've got a chance to put another 7. I mean, they're already in field goal range.
And Lone Peak may have done them a favor by trying and drain that clock on their possession. Now Lehi's got it less than a minute at the Lone Peak 30-yard line. Just killer turnovers here in this first half for the home squad.
Yeah, a tip ball like that, boy, that's just opportunistic defense for Lehi, being in the right place at the right time. And now Lone Peak's back in a cover 2. Plenty of time, 2 timeouts.
Here's Bingham. Gets the snap. He's going to pass on 1st down. He's got all the time in the world. He's going to step up and still on his feet. Takes a hard hit after a gain of 2 near the 28.
Yeah, you don't like seeing your quarterback taking that kind of a shot.
Looks like he collided that time with Kaili, the senior defensive back. But he's able to get up as they don't take a timeout, but now they will.
Yeah, they lost about 10 seconds, 12 seconds there. But you've got 2 timeouts, so make sure you get your strategy going. Make sure we know what we're doing on 2nd down. Let's try and pick up a 1st down. Get out of bounds.
As you mentioned, this team already in field goal territory. Both of these squads have some of the best kickers in this state. And we saw they've been used often in early 3 combined field goals here in this first half. But unlike Lone Peak, Lehi has to think they want to punch this in. That, like you said, that's going to be the difference, and that has been the difference so far in this first half.
Now, Lone Peak just unable to get into the end zone. Lehi really taking advantage of some miscues by Lone Peak. Momentum definitely in their favor.
So Lehi has 2 timeouts remaining after this first use. So that still really allows them to open up the playbook. And you can use that powerful run game with Eka if you decide, because you have those timeouts in your back pocket.
Yeah, you've got the timeouts, and you can attack the middle of the field because first down also stops the clock and get the guys up on the ball and go quick.
So 3 receivers to the right now for Bingham. It is going to be a handoff to Eka, though, on the left side. Eka able to gain some more yards, makes it to about the 21-yard line. And another timeout will be taken by Lehi. So there it is. There's that run play that they were able to use as they hit now the under 30-second mark in this first half.
Yeah, 10 seconds run off the clock. They've still got a timeout. They just keep adding timeouts on the scoreboard, though. So now there's 3 timeouts.
So now it'll be a 3rd and 2 from the 21-yard line. With under 30 seconds to go, are you just trying to get the first down here, make it a shorter field goal?
Yeah,
or would you try, and if you're an offensive coordinator, go for the end zone?
Yeah, I'm trying to get a first down, then you're going to have at least 2 shots at the end zone. So maybe something short-sighted here, take an out route, flood this zone, take a short, an arrow route and an out route at 10 yards. Something to get that 3 or 4 yards without having to use that last timeout. Even though if you do get the first down, the clock stops, and obviously Coach Hatfield's practices, they're going to get on the ball quick, get up there, either spike it or take a shot. So, there's a lot of things open, and if they're playing soft coverage down here, just turn and throw it. Give your guy a chance to make it through 3 yards.
Big play on 3rd down as Lone Peak will drop back. Bingham's got all the time in the world, and the ball is caught amidst chaos inside the 10. Makayo able to get it. Jackson Lattimore there with the reception.
Run this, man. You run this, it's in the end zone. All right.
And a timeout now will be taken by Lehi. So you got 18 seconds, though.
3 plays.
And 3 plays, as you say.
Yeah, 3 plays. You can even run the ball on your last, on your second play if you want. You really want to try and save your timeout if you can for the field goal attempt.
So no timeout actually will be called.
From the 6-yard line, Pioneers.
So it's just going to be 1st and goal from the 6. Oh, and they're trying to go in the flat. Bingham catches his own pass instead. He's going to deflect it down so that there's no run off of the clock, obviously.
Smart.
So smart play by the senior
really
quarterback.
Smart. There was nothing you were going to do with that ball. Good job defensively there for Lone Peak. It would be big if they could stop. Because really, still it's a 2-touchdown game. If you hold them a field goal, you can go in and say, look, man, it could have been way worse. We're only down 2 scores. So big-time play right here for Lehi.
So 2nd and goal from the 6. Some critical plays right here for this Lone Peak defense that they want to stay in this one and not have to claw back once again in the second half as they have in the last 2 weeks. Bingham surveying the defense. He's got all the time in the world. Now he's going to roll out to his left. He's got space. It's closing quickly, but the reception is incomplete. Lattimore had it and then dropped it. So we've got 5 seconds now left here for one more play. Are they going to go for a field goal? Looks like they are.
Yeah, really good job by Teleafu up on the top. They tried to go, he was looking for Glasgow, and he just was all over it. Fantastic defense by Afu. So they hold him. I mean, this is a win for the Lone Peak defense.
Great stop as they were already deep in their own territory. Bodie Hammond comes back out. 2 for 2 so far in the evening. This one the shortest, 1 for 1. And that one will make it 2 for 2 with 1 second now remaining here in this first half. Lehi now on a 20-0 run, and it really all starts with the momentum that their defense has given them.
Yeah, a couple of interceptions and really Glasgow on the kickoff return. I mean, it went from, Lone Peak, the only team able to score any points, to Glasgow returning that kickoff, and now, 20 points later, Lone Peak, frankly, they should feel fortunate it's only 14 points.
So both of these teams have been able to get close to the red zone at times, but can't convert. And turnover's another name of the game here in this first half.
Yeah, a little sloppy. The ball's been on the field a bunch. Even, there's a few times Lone Peak fumbled the ball going in and recovered it, but, you can't pick up yards when the ball's bouncing around and you're just trying to jump on it. So they've got to take care of the ball much better in this second half.
Kicking off, number 49, Bode Hammond. Isaac Fanua, Seth Willie back to receive.
So Lone Peak set back to receive this kickoff. It is with the wind, so it'll go back through the end zone. Have to think that the Knights just want to kneel this one out, take it to the locker room at halftime.
Yeah, nothing you can do in 1.2 seconds.
With 1.2.
They need to kind of go in there, regroup, lick their wounds a little bit, look at the bright side, find the things that worked. They had some good things happen offensively. They just, keep shooting themselves in the foot with turnovers and penalties.
So we've had a lot of wind, some rain here in this first half. Might have a little bit more as we reach the second. As most people call this is just football weather.
Yeah.
So the Knights do kneel it out, and that will do it here for this first half here on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. It's the Pioneers leading the Knights of Lone Peak 20-6. Back out to Lone Peak High School between the number 6 Lone Peak Knights and the number 9 Lehi Pioneers. Nate Thatcher alongside Dave Harrison here on KSLSports.com. And Dave, we saw an early lead by Lone Peak quickly diminish as Lehi stormed back thanks to a start on special teams by wide receiver legend Glasgow, returning a kickoff for a touchdown, and then the defense able to capitalize off some turnovers for some more touchdowns.
Yeah, a couple of, anytime you can get a touchdown on special teams, you're well ahead of the game. I think statistically you're going to win 80% plus of your games if you do that. And then you top that off with a couple of nice interceptions. And, Lehi's in a good position because of those special teams and defensive plays. Offensively, they've struggled a little bit, but done just enough. And frankly, the Lehi defense, the big story to me is they kept Lone Peak out of the end zone those first couple of drives, and Lone Peak hasn't been able to get anything else started.
Both of these teams with low total yardage. Lehi at 132, Lone Peak 104. You could say that's because of their short fields that they've been given. But really the key stat that kind of stands out, 97 passing yards for Lehi, only 53 for Lone Peak with 2 picks from Cruz Christensen. And you have to think that passing game has to turn around, especially because their best 2 players are at the receiver position.
Yeah, they've got to find some way to get them involved. Lehi's sitting back and basically begging him to run the football. They're taking away those 2 guys, kind of the same philosophy we saw by American Fork in their win over Lone Peak. Just do everything you can to keep the Pula brothers out of the offensive game plan and then make somebody else beat you.
So the wind has subsided here just a little bit, so kickoff goes back through the end zone. As just mentioned, Cruz Christensen will lead his offense back out here with 2 interceptions there in the first half. He was 6 of 13 for 53 yards, along with those 2 picks, but 2 running backs were fairly efficient. 4.8 yards per carry for Tate Barney, 5.5 for Sean Tahi, and they did outrush Lehi in that first half. They just haven't been able to get things going, though, and punch things in for 6. So here they go, 1st and 10 now at their own 20. Christensen, a draw up the middle, and some nice yardage out to the outside. Fanua gains 9 on the play, able to set up a 2nd and 1.
Lehi comes back in the same defense with that cover 4 shell where everybody just kind of is dropping back, keeping the Pula brothers in front of them. Good start for Lone Peak. We've seen this, though. We've seen them, get ahead of the chains a little bit with the run game, and then something happens, a penalty or turnover, and so they've got to keep these chains moving.
So a nice start here for the Knights as we see some pressure shown by Lehi pre-snap. They are going to back off. It's going to be another handoff. No, it's going to be a fake. And Christensen able to get a first down after a gain of 4.
That time, good read. I think either way, if he hands it off or if he keeps it, they're going to get a first down there. 2 good runs to start the offensive series, and they've kind of this time spread the guys out a little bit wider. This last play we saw the receivers a little closer to the sideline, bottom of the numbers, and it looks like they're going to try and spread this Lehi defense out and run the ball as long as they can.
So 1st and 10 now at the 33 for the Knights. Single back play action, and the slant is incomplete that time, underthrown as it was intended for Jaron Pula.
Dangerous throw to the wide side of the field. The defender, he wasn't tricked. He knew it was coming inside the whole way, broke on the ball. Really, I think if that ball's a little bit higher, it's another interception. So fortunate that one was off target.
So now 2nd and 10 at the 33-yard line. 2 receivers to the right and left. Christensen, another draw up the middle. Here's Fanua, but he is wrapped up near the line of scrimmage. Led that time by Brody Downs, the junior linebacker.
Good recognition that time by the Lehi linebackers. They didn't drop into coverage that time. They kind of kept their eyes in the backfield. I think they saw that draw action earlier in the first half, recognized it, made a nice play. So now Lone Peak 3rd and 10 on their first drive of the second half. This is a big play.
3rd down and 10 for the Knights.
3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Press man coverage here on the near side wide receiver. He's going to go that route. It's Pula, and it is overthrown. It'll be incomplete. And so just like that, the Knights will go out with a punt.
Looked like an option route there. Pula had the option of running it deep, trying to get into that second zone. He sat it down. The ball goes out of bounds, harmless. But, good start for Lehi defensively. Shut Lone Peak down after, they started off with 3 run plays, picked up the first down, 3 straight pass plays incomplete. Now they're kicking it.
So here comes the punt. And it's going to be a roll to the right. Oh, big boot. It's going to be shown to be fair caught by Fabrizio. So Lehi will start at their own 39-yard line. So a nice start there by the Pioneer defense. Now we're going to see this Lehi offense able to capitalize a little bit off of the turnovers forced by the defense. But both of these offenses really haven't had a solid drive that started on their own side of the field yet in this game.
Yeah, at least not one where they punched it in. I think Lone Peak early had a nice drive, just weren't able to get the ball in the end zone. And so we'll see if Lehi comes out still throwing the ball. It looks like we've still got that cover 2 look. Maybe we're going cover 1 now, cover 3.
Bingham, he's going to fake the pass now. He's going to keep it himself, get some nice yards out to about the 44-yard line for a gain of 5, but a hard collision there on that tackle.
Nice pickup there. If I'm Lone Peak, I love Wyatt Bingham running the ball. If I've got to pick between Glasgow or Eka or Wyatt Bingham running the ball, the other 2 are, they've got breakaway speed. They can score anytime they touch the ball. So if you can force Bingham to run the ball, that's pretty good defensively there for Lone Peak.
So here's a handoff to Eka. It's a counter, and it is met in the backfield. Beautifully read that time by the Lone Peak defense. Led that time in the backfield by Cubby Hoyle.
It kind of feels like Lone Peak's defense is going to have to pick the offense up a little bit. They've got to come up with a big play. They knocked off Comer Cannon earlier in the year, and they did it because their defense made big plays. So 3rd down, a chance for Lone Peak to get out of here with no damage done.
Bingham looking to pass on a critical 3rd down. Reception is caught. It's legend Glasgow there in Lone Peak territory, and tonight has been his night.
Lehi likes that play where they run about a little 10-yard dig route, and they wheel the running back out of the backfield on that same short side of the field, and it kind of forces that corner to stay on the sideline. Glasgow able to get in behind him. Good throw that time by Bingham.
1st and 10 Pioneers.
So 1st and 10 now at the Lone Peak 46-yard line. Bingham going for another pass play. It's a slant. Oh, and it's somehow caught. Lattimore gets it. Or excuse me, it was Vaikayo. And a gain of 8 on the play. We've seen some risky throws here on these slants.
Yeah, man, wide side slant to the outside guy. You better put that ball right on the money. And he did right there. Good play. Second and
Second
short.
down and 2 for the Pioneers.
So now that sets up a second and short now at the 38-yard line. Bingham gets the snap, handoff Eka up the middle, makes a cut, able to go over some tacklers for the first down. So Eka making a play right there, gets another first down. So here's the Lehi Pioneers moving down the field.
Good job there, just a little inside zone play. He pressed the hole, cut it back as soon as he had a little bit of space, picked up the first down, ran that play just like it's supposed to be. Good job.
1st and 10 now as Lehi just slowly draining this clock away as we closely reach the 7-minute mark here in the third quarter. A late shift by the Lone Peak secondary. Eka's going to go up the middle, somehow just weaves his way past tacklers for a gain of 7. What a powerful run that time by 24.
Now Lehi's starting to oppose their will. The bigs are getting downhill a little bit. Lehi's feeling pretty good about things offensively here, and it's so much easier to throw the ball after you've run 3 or 4 or 5 successful plays. You run a little play action, get somebody to bite.
For the Pioneers.
Bingham surveys on 2nd and short. It's going to be a stretch play off to the right. Eka tries to cut it back, but he's met by the linebackers. Great tackle that time
Devon Eka
by the Knights.
stopped short by number 91, Bridger Dunn.
Dunn able to get the tackle on that time.
And number 22, Cooper Sosich.
So now it's going to be a 3rd and 3 now for the Pioneers.
You still really have all of your arsenal available. You're in field goal range, and really it looks like the wind's kind of shifted a little bit. So, you know, you can go up now 3 scores if you can get the field goal. So it's
2 receivers to the left and the right. He's going to go with a quick hitch route near the 20. It's caught for a first down. And a great catch that time made by Brighton Yu, the senior tight end, able to get a critical first down on 3rd down.
Cole Cooper doing a good job, the offensive coordinator for Lehi, sending Eka out on wheel routes, but it really widens that gap, that hole in the zone, and able to find wide receiver sitting down in that hole for a first down. Clock's still running. They're doing exactly what they want to do.
So a 1st and 10 now at the 20. Bingham looking to the sideline. And now a timeout will be called as there was confusion between the coaching staff and the quarterback.
Timeout, Lehi, their first of the half.
So Lehi will take their first timeout here in the second half as they are just at the edge of the red zone here in this third quarter. Very good start now for this offense. As we mentioned before that drive started, we haven't seen a team punch it in. This looks like our best shot we'll see all night of a team to do that.
We'll see at what point Lone Peak brings those safeties down into the run box to try and stop this Lehi offense. At some point, you've got to, because they're running the ball. They've got the lead. You need to force them to throw the ball at some point. They've wanted them to kind of throw the ball short underneath all day, and they're still kind of giving them that look, but they're still giving a light box. And so at some point, you think Lehi's got to bring those safeties down, and you know, when that happens, now you look to try and set Glasgow up on one side or the other. Hopefully you can get them in man coverage without a safety over the top and kind of like take your candy from the baby. Although we've seen Afu down here on this short side corner do a really good job against Glasgow down in the red zone earlier in the game. So we'll see. That's a good matchup.
Surprisingly for how good Eka was last week in the run game, he had 2 touchdowns. We haven't seen him get paid here in tonight's game. You'd have to think they might look to him as well to just finish the job down here. So 1st and 10 at the 20. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Motion by Wren. Now he'll go back into the slot. Fake check down. Now it's going to be a fade towards the corner of the end zone. It'll be incomplete, a little bit underthrown that time by Bingham, but good coverage there by the DB.
Yeah, a little pump and go.
Bingham's pass falls incomplete.
Typically, if you run a lot of those receiver screens to the outside, you can get that corner to bite on that. They haven't really done that much, and so that corner was really playing his deep third and did a good job knocking the ball down at the goal line.
So 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass towards the front of the end zone. And as we mentioned before that timeout, Lehi's been able to drain this clock out. Let's see if they want to keep running this ball. It'll be a handoff to Ika, and then on the reverse, on the right side is Legend Glasker. Cuts it back and gets into the end zone for a touchdown. Legend Glasker with the evening of the season, as he has scored now on special teams and on offense.
Really good job, creative way to get your stud the ball. They've started with sweep left, tossed him the ball, really good job blocking, set up a wall, and he had to make one guy miss. And in the open field, he's going to win that battle most times.
So Lehi for the PAT kicks it up, and it is through. And they now lead it by 21 as they just score their 27th point. It's the Pioneers taking control here on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. Welcome back to Lone Peak High School. As we remind you, this game is brought to you by Tiny Hero, a Utah nonprofit giving families hope and help when their baby is born with CDH. They provide support, grants, and a community standing with them every step of the way. Visit tinyhero.org to learn more. Also brought to you by Advanced Orthopedics. They are the official team doctors and medical providers for Lehi Athletics. Advanced Orthopedics has been bringing collegiate-level care for the community for over 10 years. They focus on both surgical and non-operative treatments for patients and athletes of all ages and skill levels. Go to advancedutah.com to learn what they can do to help you feel better. Also brought to you by Camden Electric. Building your dream home? Camden Electric specializes in custom homes with precision, quality, and clean design. From concept to completion, we power it all. Visit CamdenElectric.com to bring your vision to light. So the Knights now with the chance to try and fix their early 3 and out here as they started the second half. Momentum completely with the team in white. The Knights, you think, have to score right here if they want to try and get themselves back into this one.
Yeah, they maybe at the most have 5 series, but they're probably going to have 4 series with the ball. They need to score at least 3 touchdowns just to tie the ball game. So, yeah, this is a big series. They've really got to convert here. They've got to get some first downs. But, bottom line is they've got to get in the end zone now, because once Lehi gets the ball back, they're going to just milk the clock.
So Fanua able to return the ball out to the 22-yard line. So that is where Lone Peak will start.
Right now, you can pick up sweatshirts, merchandise of all kinds.
Yeah, Lehi's going to invite Lone Peak to run the ball. They're going to drop everybody into coverage.
All merchandise tonight.
It's kind of time for the Lehi defensive line to shine a little bit. See if they can't get home.
Christensen and Barney in the backfield, 3 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. Christensen looking to pass, and he just misses his receiver. Couldn't get it that time to Ledger Holmes.
Yeah, just a little bit off.
Christensen's pass falls incomplete.
There's basically an all-stops route where all 4 guys run 6-yard sits, and Lehi, nobody dropped that time. They all kind of just sat on those sticks routes and unable to convert.
2nd down and 10 for the Knights.
So 2nd and 10 at their own 22-yard line. 2 receivers now to the right and the left. Christensen looking to pass once again. Finds a crossing route. And a nice catch made out to the 31-yard line. He'll set up a 3rd and short. Thomas Herget with another reception.
Seen that route a few times. Both teams have run that where they just run a bunch of verticals, run everybody off, and then drag that outside guy underneath. That time, pretty good job by Lehi, because it looked like when the ball was completed, he had a blocker or 2 out in front, but Lehi able to rally to it, beat the blockers, and keep Lone Peak from picking up a first down.
So 3rd and 1. Barney in the backfield with Christensen. A motion now by Herget. It's going to be a handoff to Barney. Barney's got the left side. He's got a blocker, and he's got space. take Barney into Lehi territory as he gets it past the 45 to the 44.
Good play design there. Motion to the right side. Kind of pulled that linebacker. Got everybody's eyes the other way. Good pickup on 3rd and short.
So the Knights now able to move the football thanks to that run game that we mentioned was successful in the first half when they used it, but they've just been relying heavily on that pass game.
Well, like we talked about, they kind of shot themselves in the foot. Turned the ball over a little bit, penalties.
Let's see if they can recover. Delayed handoff to Barney. He goes up the middle, sheds a tackle. We've got a flag on the play as he gains 7.
I think that's going to be a face mask.
Barney with the carry. Penalty marker is down.
Refs will converge and make the call.
3rd time we've seen that draw play, probably averaging 5-6 yards a rush when they run that.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense. Number 0. 50 yards for the end of the run. Push down.
So there's that face mask that adds another 15 yards. Knights now cruising down the field. If they can punch it in for 6 here, they're giving themselves a chance.
Hey, they picked up 55 yards at about 35 seconds of clock time. So this is exactly what the doctor ordered for Lone Peak. See if they can't figure out a way to get the ball in the end zone. And really, this defense, again, they've got safeties deep. They're not going to let one guy on the outside beat him.
Christensen, he's going to pass once again, and he's going to go for the end zone. But we have a stoppage of play here.
Like the receiver on the outside up top.
Penalty marker is down.
We've got a flag on the play. Pre-snap.
False start. Offense. Number 5. 5-yard penalty. Push down.
So Jaron Pula moves a little bit early, causes a false start before the play starts.
Yeah, mental mistakes. Receivers should never jump offside. Your eyes are on the ball. And again, we've seen it already a few times tonight where they got down here close to the end zone and
From the 28-yard line.
penalties hurt them.
Yeah, couldn't punch it in. So now it'll be a 1st and 15 at the 28-yard line. Christensen, he is going to pass. He's pressured, and it was almost intercepted. I mean, he almost just threw that into the hands of Penny Simani Taki.
Yeah,
Oh, my goodness.
Taki's going to think about that for the next 20 years of his life.
Defended by number 11.
Hit him right in the hands.
It was a lob pass because it was for a check down. So,
Well, it was a really good play design. They had everybody dropping hard and just a little Texas route out of the backfield and unable to get over to the top of Taki. And, sometimes your DNs don't get home, but they make a play like that. Little Max Crosby-esque right there.
here's Sean Tahi on the 2nd down run, able to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Maybe gets a yard further than that. It'll set up a 3rd and long, though.
Yeah, there's 5, 6, 7, 8 yards every time they want to run it down the middle. Just a matter of being patient enough to do that down 21 points. I never was patient enough down 21 points to run the ball.
So we're nearing the end of this 3rd quarter. A touchdown here would be critical for the Knights. We mentioned in their last 2 losses, they've had to force 4th quarter comebacks to keep themselves in it. But they have fallen short in both of those games, and there is another flag.
Again, up top, movement. Not a lot of sense of urgency either. I mean, you're down 3 touchdowns, clock's running, you're running it down to 0 on the play clock. I mean, there's got to be a sense of urgency. You got to say, hey, we got to figure this out. And again, here we go, backing it up.
A 3rd and 15. And it was on Pula once again. So your star player, your wide receiver, is getting 2 false starts when you're near the red zone.
14 for the Knights.
Yeah, and he's off the sideline on 3rd and 14.
So now that's another negative outcome here for the Knights. Christensen's got to find someone. He's being pressured. He's going to roll out. Still looking towards the end zone, but he's going to go towards his closest receiver, but it is incomplete. Off the hands that time of Seth Woolley.
Number 14, Seth Woolley.
Another good job by the defensive line for Lehi. And again, Lone Peak goes 60 yards in 30 or 40 seconds, and then burn 2 minutes and don't do anything. I mean, penalties, and they're mental mistakes. Those are the ones that there's really no excuse for.
So once again, Lone Peak failing to get a touchdown when they near the red zone. It's going to set up a field goal, a long one by Jake Barker. This will be about a 45-yarder.
Still a 3-score game.
And there is another stoppage of play. Oh, and they're going to call holding against the offense. Interesting.
Or a delay.
He said holding, but it was only a 5-yard penalty, and the play didn't even start. You'd have to think that's what it was. So now this will be a 50-yard field goal.
Little bit of wind helping.
Jake Barker.
Yeah, this will be good to see. See if he can get it there. Get something out of this for Lone Peak.
The kick is away. It's got the distance, and it is no good. They're going to say that he missed that one. So Lone Peak comes up empty. Even if they tried the field goal, that would still have kept it a 3-possession game.
And frankly, I mean, that's on your offense. You can't go negative 20 once you get down to the 25-yard line. You've got to go forward. Just not a lot of sense of urgency, not a lot of emotional support out there. It looks like Lone Peak's kind of down on the sidelines.
So now Lehi will start. And they're going to place it at their own 20-yard line. A nice drive last time, able to milk a lot of that clock and punch it in for 6 on a reverse sweep by Glasker. Let's see what they come up with right here.
Lone Peak's still dropping safeties deep, so it's a run box.
Bingham's going to pass, though. He's got all the time in the world. Now he's going to take it himself. And he gains about 2 or 3. He takes another hard hit. And he has just been rattled every time he's left that pocket.
Yeah, dude, you're up 3 touchdowns. You don't need to be taking those hits as a quarterback. Get down, live to play another game. I mean, it's nice to get 3-4 yards and run the ball, but especially when you've been out injured, taking those shots, especially when you got a big lead.
So that'll set up a 2nd and 7 at the 23-yard line, as we're now under a minute to go here in this third quarter. It'll be a handoff to Eka. Eka's got room and more. Out to the 32-yard line. That'll set up a first down.
Number 24, Devon Eka, the ball carrier.
That makes your life so easy when you're, second 9 and you pick up 9-10 yards on power right down Broadway. He hits the hole so hard. Oh.
That burst of speed, I mean, you don't see that a lot in this league.
No, he sees a hole and he is through it. I mean, you can't give him a sliver. He's going to be fun to watch run at the next level for sure.
And he's just going to be a few miles down south at BYU.
1st and 10.
So 1st and 10 now at the 31-yard line. Another handoff now to Eka. He's going to go off the left side, follows his blocks, and maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, again, outside zone or stretch or sweep. They're 0 for against this Lone Peak defense. This Lone Peak defense pursues really well.
End of the third quarter.
So that'll do it here for the end of the third. It's all Lehi now as they lead it 27-6 here on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. It's a good time to remind you of some more of our sponsors that are bringing this game to you here tonight. Stacy Rogers Real Estate. Magnify Real Estate. Stacy Rogers knows a home is more than walls. It's community, connection, and where memories are made. Whether buying or selling, Stacy brings winning results for Lehigh families. Stacy Rogers, Magnify Real Estate, proud supporter of Pioneer football. Aloha Orthodontics. Lehigh fans, show off your winning smile with Aloha Orthodontics. Braces, Invisalign, and a whole lot of fun right here in Lehigh. Aloha Orthodontics, where every smile's a touchdown. Also brought to you by UNVC. They provide complete building commissioning services across the Intermountain West. Operations now encompass a complete set of building optimization services anchored in systems, commissioning, enclosure, and consulting, energy engineering, and facilities optimization. And brought to you by Lewis Livestock. With over 3 generations of farming and cattle raising experience, Lewis Livestock is a name you can trust for the highest quality beef. Since 1908, we've built a legacy of dedication to sustainable farming and responsible livestock practices. Our love for clean eating ensures that every cut of beef we offer meets our standards. So Dave, Lone Peak currently trails it by 21. You have to think with Lehi having the ball, they're going to run the clock out, just try and drain it. What is the hope you have, if any, to try and come back and spark a 21-point comeback in a quarter?
Starts with the defense. I think that the games where Lone Peak's played really well, their defense has stepped up, made plays, turned the ball over. So Lone Peak's got to come up with a turnover. They've got to somehow either go 3 and out right here, get the ball back quick, but they've got to play clean football. That's the other part of it. They've got to get a stop defensively, but then when they get the ball back, they've got to do something with it. They can't afford the mental mistakes and the errors that have stopped them. And I'm not saying Lehi hasn't stopped them. Lehi's done a really good job defensively, and their defensive line has been disruptive. But Lone Peak with 15 pre-snap yards that they lose, and inside the 20, just you're not going to win very many games in Region 3 if you do that.
So Lehi looking to finish the job here in this fourth quarter as they have gone on a 27-0 run.
And Lone Peak's still playing to stop the pass game.
So stoppage of play here by the lead ref. Let's see what they're looking at. Look to be looking at the play clock, or they might be looking at TV.
Yeah, TV guy. I was going to say the officials must not have a restaurant reservation tonight.
And TV says we can go, so we will. Trips formation stacked here near side. And now a fake count here. Bingham's going back over to the coaching staff. Now he'll get the call. Play clock going down.
They're going to throw it right down here.
And it's going to be a handoff. Eka up the gut, able to gain about 3 on the play, so it'll set up a 3rd and about 7.
Yeah, they had 3-on-2 bunch formation down here, and Lone Peak was tight. It looked like I thought he was just going to toss it right out there and see what they can pick up. But keeping the ball on the ground is a good idea. Keeps that clock burning. Big 3rd down here. I mean, Lone Peak's got to make a stop.
Eka will come off the field as Kyson Butterfield comes in. A 3rd and 7. And a first down here would be huge for the Lehi offense as they just want to keep draining this clock out. A stop here big for Lone Peak. Empty set here for Bingham.
Number 3 receiver right down.
He's going to pass. He's pressured, and he will be sacked in the backfield. What a stop by Lone Peak.
By number 87, Hoyle.
And Hoyle once again in the backfield. A ginormous sack sets him back at the 20.
Yeah, big time. Lone Peak needed that. Now they can do something with it. They're going to get, probably get the ball their side of the 50. Not a lot of wind up there. So whereas in the first half, that wind made a huge difference in the kick game, we're not going to see as big a difference here. And, Lone Peak sets up a return, gets a good return here. Give themselves a little momentum.
Here's Fanua, set to receive. Lone Peak's going for the block. Oh, and they almost got it, but that's going to be roughing the punter. Flag is up. Fanua also fumbled it, and Lehi recovered. Oh, my goodness, just massive mistakes all over the field for the Knights.
Yeah, Lone Peak was going for the block, and really good job. He came right up the middle, but he missed the ball. He was there, just took a little bit of the wrong angle. I didn't see which number got to the punter, but clearly a penalty. And that doesn't even matter. It looks like Lehi's got the ball back.
Yeah, and you could basically say that 4th down was about a 30-yard play. It sets them up near midfield so they can continue to drain this clock. I mean, absolutely brutal for the Knights.
Yeah, Lehi definitely in control. The officials talking about something important.
These refs taking...
They've all got an opinion, too. That's the nice thing, because then they can corroborate and decide.
Lehi coaching staff out with the refs as well to help decide. And now the refs are going to go back and converse with Coach Hadfield. You know, and as they're talking, Coach Hadfield's in his first year as a Lehi head coach, taking over for Ed Larson after 20 years of Lehi football. The way he's been directing this season, this Lehi football team is impressive, especially for Region 3.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to step in with the same kind of coaching staff that's already been there. You understand the culture. You know what the formula is for success, because Coach Larson was so good and did that for so many years. But you have to also, as a new head coach, establish your own culture. So, you know, there have been some bumps in the road. He's got some fantastic athletes, great offensive and defensive lines. He's got some D1 talent in the backfield and outside. So he's got a lot to work with. And it feels to me like tonight they've got things going the right way. They're
Pioneers.
winning a close game, which, you know, they haven't done yet. Although it's not really that close.
So here's Bingham in the backfield, handoff to Eka. Eka's got room up that right side, and he's just plowing through tacklers as he gets out to the 46.
The give is to number 24, Devon Eka.
Yeah, you want to run the ball every single play. Try and keep them in bounds. Keep that clock burning.
Clock will stop as he was out of bounds on that run. But as we were mentioning earlier in the last quarter, you can just see that burst of power and speed when he takes that ball and finds some open grass.
Yeah, he's a strong runner, good vision, decisive. There's no jumping back and forth in the hole. He hits it hard.
Bingham's going to pass, and it's going to be a check down to Eka, able to shed a tackler, gets a first down, but once again, he'll go out of bounds.
Bingham completes to number 24, Devon Eka.
And they're actually going to say he was a yard short when he stepped out.
Stop by number 91, Bridger Dunn.
So that'll set up a 3rd and 1.
Saw in Max Preps today that they say Corner Canyon's the number 3 school in the nation as far as producing top-level quarterbacks. So pretty good honor for Max Preps for Corner Canyon.
Here's the 3rd down conversion. Eka's got it and more out to the 39-yard line. We mentioned that they didn't use him nearly enough in that first half, and they've just relied and put their backs on him.
Brought down by 87, Cubby Hoyle, and number 91, Bridger
Really
Dunn.
nice to have that weapon to be able to rely on that. We talked about that early in the broadcast, that to win close games in the end, at the fourth quarter, you got to be able to run the football even when the other team knows you're going to run the football, and they've been able to do that here late in this ball game.
So 1st and 10 now at the 39. Bingham's going to pass again. That's a quick one, and it is incomplete up the middle.
Yeah, we've seen that same play where they run Eka out of the backfield, try and widen that linebacker. That time the linebacker sat on that little snag route. Did a good job to stop that.
Intended for the tight end, New. Doesn't go anywhere, stops the clock, and it'll set up a 2nd and 10.
2nd down and 10, Lehi.
Lone Peak defense, they've got to make a play. They've made plays, but then the mistake on the punt.
Here's Eka up the middle, somehow weaves his way past all those defenders for a gain of 14 and a first down. Unbelievable run by Devon.
He carried a night, 7 yards on his back, and
Brought down by number 25.
now we've got a lot of talk.
Kingston
Looks like
penalty marker
an
is
unsportsmanlike on Lone Peak. Yeah, just kind of losing a little bit of their composure. They need to.
After the play, unsportsmanlike. Defense, number 6. After this to the goal, first down.
So that'll go against Teleafu, the senior defensive back, and that just allows Lehi to get just that much closer to the end zone to punch this one in.
A lot of mental errors that Lone Peak, you know, they can clean those things up. Coach Brockbank's done this before. He's won a lot of big games in his career. He'll get these guys figured out. It's just something's not right here tonight. They're just off a little bit.
Scoreboard went off for a second here inside the stadium, but it is back up and running.
It used to be that after a certain point at night, they just turn the power off.
So Bingham, handoff to Eka off the right side. And he's able once again to just get his way through some tackles, gain of 5 on the play. Stays in bounds, though, so the clock will continue to run.
Yeah, good job that time, Eka. Little, again, stretch zone.
Stopped by number 13, Justin Thayer, and number 91,
Able to find a seam to cut that upfield. Made a nice play, kept it in bounds. I mean, that's 40 seconds. Every time you stay in bounds, that's another 40 seconds off the clock.
So 2nd and 6. Ball on the 9-yard line. And now the wind's starting to creep back a little bit here in this fourth. Just slightly chillier than it was there in that first half.
Yeah, I think that some sort of a weather front just came in.
Bingham, he's going to pass. He's going to roll out to his left. Going towards the end zone. And it was intended that time for New, but it was over his head. So it's going to be incomplete, set up a 3rd down.
Big tight end. The clock stops again.
Interesting that when they're running the ball and they're doing it efficiently, it's fascinating that they're still deciding to throw the ball right now.
Well, I think part of what happens is you've got your play sheet, and typically when you get inside the 20-yard line, inside the 15, you get a completely different defensive look. You're going to get press man coverage. You're going to get a lot of pressure in the middle, some run blitz, and so you a lot of times have a little more room to throw the ball. But Lone Peak stayed back in coverage, even down here in the red zone.
So a 3rd and 6 from the 10. Bingham, he's going to pass once again. He's pressured. He's going to step up. He's got some yardage, and he's close to the end zone, but the ball comes out.
Oh.
They're going to say it's a touchdown for Lehigh.
Boy,
wow, what a call.
It sure looked to me like he got hit. The ball came out before he got across the goal line. He's hurt. Bingham took a shot right there. Again, you're up 3 touchdowns in the 4th quarter. Sometimes that unnecessary contact is you gotta let your kids know. Look, live to play another game, another day. That getting in the end zone right there wasn't worth taking a shot like that. Fortunately, he gets up slowly, but he got up.
Wow, what a close call there in the front of that end zone on a 3rd down that now has Lehigh up by 27 points. And that could have given some momentum if they called that a fumble and a Lone Peak recovery.
Yeah, it would have been at least the catalyst to start things going the right way for Lone Peak. We've said their defense has got to step up, and they had a big stop down here, and then the muff punt really cost them.
So Hammond is out for the PAT. It is up and good, and they now lead it by 4 scores. Lehigh leads it 34-6 here on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. Our last time to remind you of our sponsors here for this evening. Element Cryotherapy and Wellness offers a breakthrough wellness routine with life-changing benefits. Our non-invasive and painless cold therapy improves your well-being through decreased inflammation, increased performance, rapid muscle recovery, mood, mental clarity, weight loss, and pain relief. Learn more at elementcryo.com. Hatfield Law Firm is your local source for estate planning services, including trusts, wills, healthcare directives, and asset protection planning. Attorney and owner Matt Hatfield is a graduate of Lehigh High School and was part of the state championship football team in the year 2000. Hatfield Law Firm is devoted to providing expert solutions and personalized services to each client. Schedule a free consultation by calling 385-522-9302. That's 385-522-9302. Hatfield Law Firm, preserving your legacy, building your trust. And Jersey Mike's is proud to support the Lehi Pioneers. Come on by Jersey Mike's Subs and try the number 13 Original Italian. Provolone cheese and 5 different meats, all sliced fresh on the spot. Or get a hot Philly cheesesteak grilled fresh right in front of you. Experience the sub above at Jersey Mike's. Well, there's all our sponsors for the evening, so it's just going to be football from here on out for the final 8.5. Lone Peak now trailing by 28, and it's going to provide some miracle to get out of here and force some form of overtime or get a win here in regulation.
Yeah,
but
28 points in 8 minutes is.
So from here on out, if it stands as is, Lone Peak will drop to 5-4. That'll be 3 straight losses. They'd move to 1-3 in region play. And for Lehi, they'd move to 6-3, 2-1 in region play. And the only team left on their schedule next week, the daunting Corner Canyon Chargers. So I'll start with Lehi. You have the #1 team in the state next week. What do you think that looks like for them? I mean, Lone Peak was able to do it just 4 weeks ago. Do you believe Lehi has the capability to beat the Chargers?
Oh, yeah, for sure. And the biggest reason I think that is because of their offensive line. I think that their offensive line is good enough to dominate a run attack sort of a game. And I mean, you can't get in a shootout. I've tried shootouts with Corner Canyon, and rarely do you come out on the winning end of a shootout. So they've got to keep a low score. They got to control the ball. And look, everybody's beatable. These are high school kids. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to do things that you can't fathom why they would do it, but they do it anyway. And so anything can happen. And I mean, we're looking at a Lone Peak team kind of getting blown out on their own field, and their last win was Corner Canyon. So, anything can happen. Anything can happen, and I think Lone Peak, they've got to lean on Glasser, get him the ball. You see how electric he is. Eka, same thing. Really rely on those two. Yeah, I think they've got a good chance to beat Corner Canyon next week.
Meanwhile, for the Knights, this is how they're going to finish their season. And you just mentioned their lone win in region play was against Corner Canyon, the #1 team in the state. So as you're going into the postseason, what are you looking at if you're on the Knights side of things?
Well,
as something to look forward to.
But they've got to clean some things up. They've got to have a clean, good start there, but don't shoot yourself in the foot. Come down, get in the end zone, figure out a way to get a little momentum. They're going to get beat up on film tomorrow. Their coaches are going to really let them have it, I'm sure, and they deserve it. I mean, they just really didn't show up, didn't feel like mentally, but both these teams have the ability. They've got the size, they've got the defense, they've got the playmakers to win a state championship. It's just a matter of who puts it all together at the right time.
So Lehi just dropping back on this defense, allowing for throws to happen. Two complete passes here on this drive. There's another one, and they're going to roll the clock here. That'll set up a 3rd down and 4.
Christensen completes to #18. Isaiah Apoka.
Yeah, it's sitting in empty, taking the little 5-yard holes in the defense and exploiting that. But
3rd down and 4.
Lehi's not letting them get over the top at all.
Empty for Christensen. He's pressured off the edge. Oh, he had a player underneath, blown up, incomplete that time. Now sets up an early 4th down here on this drive.
Christensen's pass ball's incomplete.
Lone Peak really feeling good about themselves. They've done a good job getting to Christensen, and so now they're at the point where they're trying to get the ball out as quick as they can, and 4th down.
And they're going to punt this ball away, and we've got some serious wind now kicking in.
And now it's going the other way, out of the north. Should be a good punt and probably get it over the head of the receivers.
A late substitution, play clock running down. Able to get it off. Deep punt, as you mentioned. Very large bounce. An excellent punt will set up Lehi inside their own 5. So there's something good to look at from the special teams side of things. And a great punt that time by Lone Peak.
Good. We've got another timeout.
We'll take it with them. It's Lehi 34 and the Lone Peak 6.
With a Tab Spend checking account, you earn big rewards. It's hard to not make a scene.
Cash or card?
Oh, my card's right here.
That's a big card.
You should see how much it's earned me. Sorry, Grandma. Tab Spend isn't just another checking account. It's packed with benefits.
How do I get one?
Just scan this QR code or go to tabbank.com. It's all online and super easy to get started.
Welcome back out to Lone Peak High School here in Highland, Utah, as the Lehi Pioneers have been taking care of business as they look to move to 2-1 here in Region 3 play and get what most would consider an upset, at least here at KSL, against the number 6 team in the state, even though Lehi is themselves a top 10 team.
Yeah, I ranking sometimes hard to tell, where teams are really at. But once, we come out here and we watch them every week, and, these guys are top 5 for sure.
Eka just with a powerful bruising run, gain of 3 on the play.
Number 24, Devon Eka, the ball carrier.
And really, like we talked about the timeout, you don't want Bingham taking any more hits. You want your quarterback clean, let him. I mean, he's already been hit a few times tonight, pretty hard, limped off a couple of times. So keep him healthy, keep the clock running.
So it's going to be Briggs Jensen in at quarterback. High snap, handoff up the middle, room and more. There he goes. Eka blasting out past the 40.
Yeah, big time play there. And again, just the ability to see the hole and the decisiveness to hit the hole that hard makes you look like a pretty good coach when you got a running back like that.
And just like that, they're out of deep inside their own territory. They were stuck inside their own 5. Now they're out to the 43.
It feels like to me this Lehi offensive line starting, it feels like their best game of the season for me. They've dominated the line of scrimmage for the most part in the run game.
Here's another handoff. Nice cutback inside. Great run by Sam Verbecki, the junior. Able to gain 6 on the play.
Gives to number 30, Sam Verbecki.
So back-to-back wins. With this one tonight that they'll get, Lehi last week dominates American Fork. They dominated Lone Peak tonight. I mean, very impressive performances here in what most would consider the toughest region in the state.
Yeah, and they're healthy. Starting to come together at the right time. It felt like the first game we saw them, their O-line just kind of wasn't working together yet. It's nice to see them really be able to dominate late in a game like this on the ground.
Verbecki maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage. They'll say he gained 1 yard on the play and got it out to the 50 as we're now under 5 to go here in the 4th.
Yeah, the wind's really picking up. Kevin Eubank says that when you feel the wind shift, that means the front arrived. So,
okay. Well, now we got a little bit of weather knowledge tonight.
Yeah, there you go. Laying it on thick tonight.
3rd and 3 now at the 50. Jensen, he's going to pass, going for a quick slant, and it is incomplete. They're going to say the ball hit the ground on that go. Intended receiver that time was on the near side. Carter Cutler couldn't get it done, so it's going to be a punt for Lehi.
Yeah, I would have liked to see Lehi keep the ball on the ground, keep the clock burning. Pretty much everybody, a lot of the Lone Peak fans have filed out. Lehi's still got some fans here, so I guess trying to spread the ball around a little bit, blowout win.
Fanua set back deep to receive.
This ball's going to get blown out of bounds. It's blowing so hard.
Oh, an impressive punt with the win you just mentioned. Fanua's just going to let it go in for a touchback.
Yeah, really good low spiral kick into the wind. A lot of times you get those balls up in the air and they balloon, and so pretty good job there by the punter. Even though it did go into the end zone, that's still a pretty good switch of position.
So now Lone Peak's going to bring it back out. It will be Christensen coming back out. Pula's out there as well. This is some nice, easy time to try and get some more plays in, get a good flow in before the playoffs come.
Yeah, trying to find something positive. Really, you're probably trying to just get out of here.
And a fumble by Barney on the far side. They're going to say that it was recovered, though, by Lone Peak.
I think it just went out of bounds. I don't think anybody recovered it. Man, when it rains and pours, they just can't hold on to the ball tonight. And we've seen it from the very, very start of the ball game. Just trouble with the snaps, trouble with the tip balls. Kind of one of those nights you just want to forget if you're Lone Peak.
So now that'll be a 2nd and 7 at the 23. Christensen, he's going to pass. He's going to go for Pula. It's tipped once again, and now that sets up a 3rd and long. This defensive line by Lehi has been able to make their presence known tonight.
Yeah, they've done a good job when they aren't in the backfield making a play on the quarterback. They've done a good job getting their hands up in those passing lanes. And Christensen just kind of little things started to go wrong early in the game, and it just seems like everything's compounded throughout the ball game. And Lehi, they've done their jobs. They've done a good job keeping the Pulas intact, not let anything get over the top.
Motion by the tight end. It's going to be a pitch back to Tahi. Tahi's going to run, and he's just met by that defense, driven out of bounds by James Rex.
Pushed out of bounds by number 20, Reed Wilson.
Reed Wilson.
So 4th down. See if they're going to kick it away. Yep.
Looks like they are. So a 3 and out here for Lone Peak. And now you have to think the next time the Pioneers touch the ball, they're just going to run this thing out.
One would hope.
One would hope. We've seen more passes than we would have expected.
Sam Parker on the punt for the
Lehi's always like to throw the ball around, though. So true to their identity.
So here comes the punt. This one a little bit shorter. And this one goes towards the sideline. Oh, but it stays in bounds and rolls out to the 36.
They'll mark the punt at the 37. Lehi takes over.
So now if we're looking ahead to next week in this great matchup between Lehi and Corner Canyon, if you're the Chargers, and specifically if you're trying to stop this Lehi offense, I mean, do you think they have the run defense to be able to stop Eka? And if not, what else can you do to help contain this explosive offense? Because when they get going, they're highly consistent.
Yeah, they're really good. Corner Canyon's always been known to be a bend, don't break type of a defense. And Corner Canyon's really good for a reason. I mean, they're ranked where they are for a reason because they've got dudes at every spot. But Lehi, they've got the offensive line to be able to combat that against Corner Canyon and control the ball game. And so, it's exciting to be able to get down to the very last game of the year and a couple of really good powerhouse teams with a chance to win the state championships. Kind of a preview of maybe what you're going to see down the road. The bad thing is, though, with the RPI, you never know. These guys might be first-round matchups or second-round matchups, and it's not like it used to be where 4 teams from one region could make this, the Final Four. So it'll be interesting to see where Lehi ends up in the RPI. And
so Nito Fanua in at running back. He's going to take his second carry, bounces out to the outside. Once again, able to shed some tackles close to first down yardage. It'll set up about a 3rd and a yard.
Fanua, the ball carrier.
Good hard run there. Big, strong kid. Put his shoulder down. Got upfield.
5'8", $180. Man, he's able to put his shoulder down, drag some linebackers with him.
Low center of gravity. Those kids are hard to bring down. And especially when you're, in high school, you haven't really bulked up. Like to see some of these college kids can take those running backs on, but at the high school level, man, those low center of gravity running backs are tough to bring down.
So 3rd and a yard, Fanua up the gut and gets the first down. And that should just about do it.
Yeah, I can't imagine Lone Peak's going to try and stop the clock here. I would expect you'll see a lot of this clock burned down. So is Lehi at Corner Canyon next week?
They'll be at home against the Chargers.
Oh, that'll be a big night in Lehi.
They have just played 2 massive games against American Fork and Lone Peak, getting big wins here in this region. As the handoff goes up to the line of scrimmages, this wind has really picked up now here in this last minute of this game.
Yeah, these.
Well, I'm glad you golfed this morning.
Yeah, tomorrow would not be as nice. It's supposed to rain down there. It's supposed to rain up here.
If you were to rank Lehigh, they were ranked 9th coming into this week. Personally, where would you put them in after 2 big wins against a number 3 American Fork, number 6 Lone Pick? Yeah.
I mean, Corner Canyon, Lehigh, Sky Ridge, Mount Ridge, you got to kind of throw them into that mix. They're really impressive this year. So, Lehigh looks like they're healthy, looks like they're figuring it out offensively on that with their run game. You got to keep their quarterback healthy. That's a big deal.
So the Lehigh faithful looking to celebrate this massive win here on the road as they get it done, 34-6. And just a massive win, as we've been saying, here in region play. And this would be a great time to bring up our Tab Bank helmet sticker. It can go to a moment, it can go to a player. Dave, what do you think? Who or what deserves that helmet sticker here tonight?
I think the game turned when Glasgow returned the kickoff for a touchdown after Lone Peak kicked their second field goal. He goes the distance and outran the entire team, and it really changed the tone of the game. And so for me, I think that's the moment, and that's the player.
Legend Glasgow able to get into the end zone a couple of times, one on a rush on offense, and as Dave just mentioned, one on special teams. Lehigh looking dominant as they make their run towards the playoffs. Corner Canyon coming up next week. For Dave and for Doug, I'm Nate Thatcher, and this has been another edition of the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com.